This is a How Is He podcast with Podge and Poppa, proudly sponsored by Ampifi. Power up your podcast. Let's kick it off.
Welcome to episode 58 of the How Is He podcast. Joined as always by my co-host Paul Poppa Dowling right here in the Ampifi Studio, right in the heart of Carlow, Poppa, who are sponsoring this episode. Ampifi, power up your podcast. There you are, sponsorship done.
What's wrong with the voice patch?
Just for
Power up your podcast.
My God. This week anyway, Poppa, it's a massive one, right?
Like
All we're going to do, fuck me. Do you want to do the intro, do you? Do you want to do the intro? You may be tested, man. You may be tested for a few things, to be honest with you. STDs and all that. I'm only joking. No, this one's a big one. It's Leinster Junior Cup preview. We had the boys on from Kilkenny. 3 wise men in Kilkenny. Damien Raggett and the 2 Doyles.
3 legends.
3 legends is right.
And Demo.
That's wow.
Damien Raggett and 2 Doyles.
Yeah.
3.
Sorry, that's Davy, Doyle and Graham Doyle we have in. So we're going to look at the Leinster final. That's all we're going to do today. It might be a bit mad. The boys are going to preview it with us. We'll stir the pot a little bit.
Why not?
A few ridiculous predictions. I just realised I wrote down an intro and I covered about 3 lines of it. But anyway, expect carnage, right? Boys, welcome back.
Cheers, lads.
For the
Thanks
best
for having me.
podcast.
Second time.
Gentlemen, how are you?
Second
Fantastic.
time to have you on.
Love this man. Look at him.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Podge.
You're an inspiration to every podcaster in the country.
Podge?
Yeah.
Podcast.
It's his voice.
I don't feel like we should start like this.
Start as you mean to go on.
Yeah.
Did you not get enough of Graham the last time?
I tell you
No,
what, Graham,
man.
your episode hit really well.
Yeah.
Very, very good. Lads were contacting me over and everything. Oh, I didn't know. I knew he played soccer with blah, blah, blah. I knew he was up in court. No, I'm only joking. No, it hit really well. You were very good. But tonight, it's about one thing and one thing only, Pop.
The big game on Sunday.
The big game on Sunday. It's in Bunclody.
Yeah.
That's where we start. Venue, what do you think?
I was down there the other day with school. Got beaten in penalties in the Leinster final. We played on the other pitch. And they were only starting to get the pitch ready, really. As the one thing I'll give it is it's accessible and there's loads of room for supporters. I'll
Is
give
it
that.
the pitch behind
Behind the building
Yeah,
they're
that's
on,
their
yeah.
main pitch then, yeah.
Yeah.
But do you know what I don't like about Bunclody? It's the road up to it.
Yeah.
It's first narrow and lane up to it, like, and I know it opens
But
up.
where do you play it? Like, I mean,
Well, it has to be a League of Ireland ground, doesn't it?
yeah.
The FAI Cup final at
It-
the weekend was in Turner's Cross.
Yeah, it should be in. It
It's
should
not.
be in.
It's not. No disrespect in Bunclody, but it's not a big enough.
No.
It's not a.
What would be wrong with
It's not a League of Ireland venue for a proper game.
Go down to the RSC. What would be wrong with that?
Honest to God. Yeah.
It doesn't matter. Right?
Yeah.
We've had this on our
Newbridge.
podcast.
Listen, we're talking about.
Newbridge, yeah.
Newbridge
Yeah.
would have been, or
Is that Munster?
Athlone.
No, it's not geography fucking lesson we're doing.
I know.
That won't be a long way though, would it?
Yeah, but look, if you're looking at,
Would you
actually
been happy
getting
with
into,
Ferry Carry?
no,
It's an
I
awful
wouldn't have
drive
been if
to
I
it,
was
isn't it?
a supporter. Like,
No.
it's-
No,
and the pitch is huge,
massive.
huge.
It's a massive.
I would have
pitch,
put it in Dean the Prince, Dean Celtic's pitch.
Yeah.
I thought Prince or Critty Yard, I thought that's where
I
either of
think
them would have been.
The problem
I
was
just thought
Kilkenny
between
are
the two.
after having
Three
3 Leinster finals in
Yeah,
Kilkenny.
in Kilkenny.
So I
In
think
Evergreen.
What level? Oh,
no,
Durrance.
one in
No,
Buckley.
Evergreen, and we played 2 at home. We played in Buckley. And
Oh,
the
traditionally,
Turtles.
if your 3 Leinster finals were at home. All right,
no,
gotcha.
we played 2, and Evergreen played
Played
Sheriff
one.
in the Prince.
Oh, did they?
Yeah,
Is that where that Leinster final
That's where the
2016?
finals on, yeah.
So you know we'd be a bit unfair now. Bit Irish to get 4 and Carlow not get 1.
Do
You
you
know,
know what?
near home. I think that's the way they were looking. Maybe. Well, I think Bunclody will be okay, but looking at the surface on the second pitch, it was only okay. You know, so I'm hoping the main pitch. You know, with the weather we're getting, hope they're watering it, and
Yeah.
you know,
Plenty of car parking space though. It's
That's
big,
a-
like,
that's a
big
big
old
thing, yeah.
area, like, and
I think the players will be at it and they don't give a fuck about the venue.
yeah.
That's the God's honest truth. And if they're worried about the venue, they won't
If
be
they're thinking
they're
about
not,
that,
they're not,
then
not thinking
have
about
a
the right
problem.
things.
Sure, I would imagine.
Both sets of players will be at that from
Yeah.
the first minute.
I imagine both teams are going to train on it this week.
Yeah, you'd imagine
show.
so.
I would
Yeah.
imagine so.
would you?
Yeah, well, we did in Newbridge in, when was that, Graham? 99. 2 sessions up there before they played the final. And then we were in Buckley, and we didn't get much of a run out, but we got a run out in Buckley before we played Cherry Orchard in the final.
Was that
Do you
coming
look,
from?
do you look for an invitation for that, or did they
Yeah,
contact you
that's
that
what
it's
to
your
ask.
right to training at once?
No, we looked.
Yeah.
We looked, yeah.
So, but
Good show, isn't it?
Newbridge
yeah, but I
were
don't think
great.
I don't think it makes any difference though. It's probably purely psychological, right?
Well, the one thing I would do is that
Think?
genuinely when you go to a big game and maybe lads who haven't been in a big game, they're looking at the dressing rooms. They're going, "Where's me mammy and daddy? Where's the bar?"
Yeah.
You know, if you go down one night or 2 nights. All that's put away, they're just in focusing. Now, the older heads will be just in focusing
I
on the
look
game.
at it from a completely different point of view in regards of set pieces.
Yeah.
Who's on your set pieces? If New Oaks is a smaller pitch or
Yeah.
Evergreen's a smaller pitch.
Yeah.
Dean Kelly whips in the corners. I have to pay a little bit more in the corner this time. It's a bigger pitch than
Bigger
New Oaks
pitch,
or wherever it is. That's what I look at.
I don't think Dean has any
set pieces
problem.
would be crucial for me in that kind of thing.
Yeah. Dino could whip him from the next county.
That's right. You could pass him Kildare to Carlow. Wouldn't be bothering him.
I don't
Pass
think
out the train, he would.
I don't think you set pieces of matter, sure.
No, but
What if you have 3 or 4, like...
no, but delivery point, Podge. You know what I mean? What I'm talking about.
Yeah, if you're too small, you're overhitting it, and if
Honest to God.
you know, you have to get your eye in. So the training would allow you to get used to
Just
that.
different thing, yeah.
I would imagine both teams will be down there this week.
Damien, is your
surprised if
microphone
they're
working? Is your microphone working? Is it?
Not when he's on.
We only bring him in when you have something to say.
We do a few questions, right? We have a few customer questions.
Customer
What's the thing here? Super Quinn. we have a few listener questions to go through. We have a few questions that'll get maybe a little bit deeper into it, right? So, for those who haven't seen much of Evergreen, lads, what can we expect? I know they've had a decent, good season. We're betting 2016 final, but where are they? Like, honestly,
There's no point us giving you away all the secrets now. You can find out for your fucking self. Not telling you that now.
There's a terrible attitude you have, isn't it?
Hang on.
yeah, turn off the
Tell you
microphone.
what,
Definitely.
He's warm, boys. It's warm.
Oh my God.
Hang on.
Fuck me.
What's this now? What's this?
It's tight. I've had it since I was young.
Yeah. He looks like a fucking Twister ice cream, doesn't he?
You're not fucking licking me. You can fuck off.
If he had red hair, no, wouldn't he?
No, honestly.
No, I think they're very good. They're organised, really organised. They're really hard to break down. Like
Concede many goals,
no? No. They're really good on set pieces.
Yeah.
They're really good on set pieces. I wouldn't say they'd tear you asunder, like. Do you know what I mean?
Football and technical.
Like, technically they play brilliant football, but they don't just go and go and go. They're very... what would you say?
Methodical.
Yeah, they're very
Beautiful
precise.
word.
They'll build it, and if they have to go back, they'll go back.
Yeah.
It's not a big thing to them to hold on to the
patience.
ball.
Recycle.
Yeah.
But they play with wit, right?
They do, but it's the boys they'll play inverted as well. Like, it's not. It depends on who starts outside, whether you have Andrew Wall or Mikey Clifford, and then you have Drennan obviously kind of floating in the 10. But no, I think they're a really good side. Like, they're
Will you be cocky?
Yeah, they always have been though. I'm not saying that Evergreen would have always been and
It doesn't matter who we're playing.
No, I don't think they'd. Like, cocky is, like, people say, oh, it's the wrong word, but look, it is. I don't think they're really concerned of who they're playing ever. They'll play the way they play, and
That's it.
That's it.
Yeah.
You know.
I think they bring a way of success, right? But it's a quite big step, and you know, for winning Leinsters,
Yeah.
like
To get over the line on that day is massive.
but even go back, right? 8 in a row this year.
League in Kilkenny you can't count that in these.
On a like in relation to probably the best ever setup they'll have, best ever wealth of players from all around the area, and they still haven't got a Leinster.
Yeah, well, my personal thing is Evergreen have to win it.
Yeah.
It's not a case of wanting to
Why
win
do you
it.
say that?
They have to, because we've got 3 and we have 3 underage ones. And this is what's driving them. And they'll tell you it's not, we're a big club. It drives them bananas that we have that many in our place. We were out doing an interview last night and Mikey Clifford said, we have to win one of these for a club our size.
Mikey Drennan.
Or Mikey Drennan. We have to win one. And they do have to win it. Where New Oak want to win it. I know they want to win it. Will it define them if they don't? I don't know. They'll turn around and go again. I don't know. But I
You
think...
don't get many chances at Leinster final.
No.
No, you don't.
Like, it's so hard to get there.
And New Walker on a long road as well. Like, you know,
They are.
had a lot of
Two
Leinster.
Semi-final last year.
semi-finals.
You know.
And,
2 semi-finals in a row, is it?
Yeah.
And a final.
Not in a row, no. But
and in fairness, they got very badly done by Kilkenny referees in here about 3 years ago.
North
maybe.
End. Was
Yeah.
it the North End game?
They scored a perfectly good goal to get 1-1 to go into extra time, and it was flagged offside and it was nowhere near offside.
Was it?
Yeah, listen, I was down at it. The referee linesman got it wrong.
Who are you up for?
What do you mean? No, I'm talking about getting here. Well, I'm kind of caught. I have 2 nephews on Evergreen and my son is involved with New Oak, so...
Yeah.
Do you want the Evergreen jersey?
No, I never want that Evergreen jersey.
I'd say Evergreen have had better individuals previous years, kind of scattered around, but this is the best squad
bit like
that
Paris
they've
Saint-Germain.
had.
The superstars are gone, but it's a better team.
No,
Yeah.
they still have Mikey Drennan, who is,
Yeah.
but everything around him now works better.
Work harder for him to free him up, sort of.
It's, I think it's.
Is it a better squad than the one that got Ben the FEI Junior?
I think so. I tell you what they have got is if the front two aren't working,
Hard.
they just have straight two to swap and they know what to do when they swap them.
They've good depth, right?
Yeah.
So like
Great-
if you're
great
taking
squad.
off Drenny and taking McQuillan, say, you're bringing in Andrew Wall and Grinny. We know what Andrew Wall is going to do. The lads Mark and Andrew Wall can know what he's going to do. It's not going to stop him
Andrew
doing
Wall
it.
used to play when you walked.
He did play with no walk.
Yeah.
And then Grinny will drop off in the little pockets. And if he gets a chance, he'll score. And that's just the reality of it. He will. It's who snuffs who out is really what I think is. This is going to be whose defence can go completely through the game without making a mistake. Because it's going to be that fine, I think.
I genuinely think that Newark have been overlooked. I don't think there's enough respect put on them. I made a statement here last week and I stand by it, and I'm saying Pats the core. It's the best junior side that's ever played in this county.
Yeah.
And they're gone. I know they didn't win their league this year or last year, but they went and bet North End comfortably.
What I found about Newark when I saw him, I've seen him a couple of times, is they have a system, shall we say, but they play it very free.
Yeah.
I would say. The way they move, there was a goal, Dean Kelly got the first goal down in Craic Yard. You're going a long way to see a better team goal than that. I'm sure you know what he's like when he gets a free kick, lads. You know.
Well, even if that's the thing, if whoever Evergreen have played this year, you'd wonder, have they played someone with the talent of Dean Kelly who can change a game? But one thing I think is very overlooked is the work rate that a lot of the Newark boys have.
Yeah.
Especially like Lee Walker.
Fester.
You know,
Ryburn.
Ryburn, yeah.
The left full will not
Like,
get a second.
crazy, like hard work.
Now, I know, and look,
Like that's one thing I'm really looking forward to. Lee Costello, the left back,
Yeah, he's a good
is
player.
after having a fantastic season as well. And him up against Ryburn,
Yeah.
It's going to be great.
brilliant as well.
Then your centre field is going to be a great mix.
I don't think Evergreen let you play. I know we're saying have they been tested. I don't think they let you.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah,
What, as in full press or just
everything. The way they control the ball, the way you're constantly worried about them on set pieces. You're constantly worried about them. They have no problem going back to front. Like
No, they don't know.
They've no issues.
Yeah.
It's not all
Go
about
along.
playing. They have no hassle. So you're constantly on your toes, constantly thinking. And people are saying, "Oh, they've won 8 in a row." Kenny they have, but no matter what the opposition, you still have to go out and win it.
Very underrated centre midfield as well.
Yeah.
Iffy and Dean Carnally.
Yeah.
Like, Dean Carnally's, I've said it a couple of times on our one during the year, I think he's so overlooked in just
Massively
doing the
overlooked,
simple
yeah.
stuff, winning the ball back, 5-yard pass, but he's always there.
And you know,
Breaks
for
something down.
he's a giant of a man, though, isn't he?
Yeah, he's
but he
big
actually
man, yeah.
plays lovely football. He plays like a
Right.
small man.
Yeah.
Gets it down, moves it. Now he's good in the air and all, but he moves the ball really, really well and knows his role in there.
He's,
you know.
Yeah.
he's well able to dip into the box as well when it's
Oh, yeah.
needed, like late runs and stuff like that. He's very good
Do you
at it.
think it'll come to a case of Mikey being man-marked and Dean being man-marked? Do you think both teams will
I
do
hope
that?
not.
Good question, Pop.
I hope not, because I want to see again.
Like, what was that game you talked about?
Well,
Was
can you
it-
man mark them too?
The Wexford game last year, Shamrock, was it Shamrock?
No,
Well,
that
that wasn't man marking. That was GBH. No, to be honest with you, because the man was facing him and everything.
Yeah.
The ball when he was facing. Do you know what I
semi-final
mean?
last
It's
year.
disgraceful.
What's the
Not
name?
following
This year?
Wexford Boss.
Wexford Boss.
Extra ball.
Didn't give him nothing.
Just
Yeah.
following around the whole pitch.
Yeah.
No,
For the whole game. He did 70 minutes, took him off and brought another lad.
Wexford
He
both
finished
beat
out the game.
Evergreen as well, didn't they?
Yeah.
So I just wondered, were both of them a bit kind of not off the ball, but like we were playing
Well,
Wexford boys?
what I would say in that sense, I think that both sidelines are smart enough. Speaking from Newark, to see it happen last year, they're smart enough to do something. Like I remember saying to Gav,
Yeah.
why you just drop Mountain to the right
Yeah. Take him out
and go 2v2 in the middle?
Yeah. Yeah.
Just open it up a little bit.
The one thing I will say, I'll give them their due, is if Evergreen get up ahead of steam, it's going to be very hard to stop. If Newark aren't at it from the first whistle and Evergreen get playing and moving and their systems are working and the way they're playing is working, it's going to be very, very, very hard to stop.
Well, if both teams are up for the game, it's,
Yeah.
They have to, Newark will be up for the game, make no mistake about it.
But
They have winners
let's
and
be honest, they're
they
playing a
don't-
Carlow team. You know why I say Buckle Kenny lads playing Carlow team?
Don't put you that cunt down here, there.
But what you're saying about
Tomorrow, look at him and more believing birth control.
about
Graham mother had 8 goals if you got the right one.
it's but marking the two boys, like the thing with, I know I've seen Dean Kelly play. Like Dean is a fabulous player. But the thing is, you see Mikey a lot, and there's some games Mikey does not. The next thing, bang.
Yeah.
You know,
And he's prepared to
whereas
wait.
if other lads are not in the game, do they have it in the 90th minute? Whereas he can just float
they have
through
the
a
patience
game.
to kind of-
And next thing,
But a lot is done on Dean, lads. No two fullbacks are outstanding.
Yeah.
Right?
What do you think of the keeper situation? What would your thoughts be on the goalkeeping situation at New Oak?
Craig Carney's fantastic goalkeeper. No doubt.
You'd be happy with him?
Oh,
Brilliant goalkeeper. He's cool, likes the ball at his feet, and doesn't mind coming off the line.
Like,
You know what I mean? Comes for corners as well.
that'll be the test.
Yeah. It's
But
just, can you time that right?
That's
Yeah.
And it'll be a test at the
Like I
other end
said,
as well.
like I said, in set piece, it's the size of the pitch as well. If it's put on the money, can the goalkeeper come and rescue you in a couple of situations, corners or free kicks if you're one up or one down?
Yeah, well, we were lucky with him that in big games he'd
Back
come and
break
catch
to
a
the-
corner
to the
and
hills,
it'd
yeah.
break the other team's heart. You know, when you when they come in and you couldn't even catch a dog.
that
keeper.
is a heartbreaker when the keeper does that.
Yeah, it breaks your heart.
Especially if it's in that 5-minute window where they're turning the screw.
Yeah.
You know, if a corner goes in or a cross goes in and the keeper drops it straight away, his head is gone nearly.
Yeah.
And you're thinking, put that next ball straight in and
Let's
touch
get another corner.
pressure.
You know what
That's
happens
what they do,
then?
Doug, not
Yeah, and no, look, and especially in Bunclow.
How do you feel at that when that happens?
when you drop it?
No, but the next one comes in.
but
How did you feel?
But you have to, it sounds
Yes.
terrible, but you have
Speak
to
slowly.
You have to just have a pair of balls.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's all you can do because
Yeah.
you can't catch the one that you dropped. You know,
But I think the bigger effect there is
It's-
if a keeper drops one, your back four all of a sudden are 5-10 yards deeper.
they can be.
Because they go into protection mode.
this-
And then
Yeah,
that opens the space then in front of them.
If you have a ball coming in and you know, no matter what, he's coming for it, he's taking it. You've no doubt in your mind.
I can defend from 20 yards up.
Well, even your wing back straight away are going, if that ball is coming in, he's catching that and I'm gone already. And he's out to me and I'm away. You know, if it's...
I do. We'll touch on this a bit more, but I want to make a statement, right? I do think it's going to be one between the midfield six. Both teams play the same shape, right? 4-3-3 or a variation of it.
Yeah.
I genuinely think that Noak's midfield three will be better than Evergreen's.
That's a big statement. I tell
And
you,
I'll
the
tell you
Evergreen
what-
midfield three are very good.
But I'll tell you how confident I am. The only one I know that will start for Noak is Dean. The other two I wouldn't be sure.
I can
Did that-
name the team for you.
They've that much deep depth.
Yeah, they do have depth, but it's going to be
Who's James McGrath?
It's James McGrath and Keane Cleary. And Jordan will play as a false nine. That's what I think.
And what would you say now going into this week? I don't know. Like, when we were going in with him and all, our big fear as managers was, I was away for a couple of days and I was ringing every day. Were we training? Anyone get a knock? Anyone get a tweak? Is everybody 100%? This kind of thing.
Yeah,
So I'm sure
you didn't go away mid-season, did you?
Oh, no way.
You didn't go away mid-season
No.
and all they give it out to go lads going away mid-season. Build up to a Leinster Junior Cup final and you went off for a few days.
I was a manager and I'm married. I talk about players that aren't married. There's different.
Checkmate.
There's rules.
There is certainly
I just made them up.
and we were talking last night. You're married as well now, and you now know the rules as well. So you do. But who's a little niggle? Who'll keep their heads? Like both sides have players that can, lose their head.
What are you doing training up to this week?
Nothing. We did not know. Corner set pieces, jog around.
It's only you get together, isn't
Yeah,
Even your
it's
set
only-
pieces, if your set pieces are not locked down at this stage of the season, and these two teams,
I was just
set
about to
pieces
say it.
is locked down,
Yeah.
they're going so long. But someone who keeps getting overlooked, and I said it a few times at our one, is Iffy, that plays in the middle for Evergreen. Like, it's non-stop.
Strange
It's
enough, talking to the
non-stop.
Evergreen
Box to box.
Talking to the Evergreen boys last night, they said he's the worst trainer.
Yeah, they said he's
When we-
shocking.
Yeah.
That's always
and you
the case,
see him
though.
in the game, he's just
Up and down, up and down.
Yeah.
unreal. He's everywhere.
So like the midfield six,
war.
it is a big thing. But Newark, I presume Newark can't win that much without being fit and organised and well able to
and Newark
control
are
a
fit.
game.
Yeah.
You know,
you-
that's
Like, you expect them to be crowded.
everybody says about Dean's ability on the ball.
Yeah.
He plays every minute of every game.
Yeah, he does. Yeah,
which is not easy.
That's
And
easy
when,
kind of
when,
lad, yeah.
when he goes to the ground for a tackle, he doesn't lose it either.
yeah.
Like, he's a phenomenal human being.
Well,
Like,
to be
he's-
fair now,
him
lads,
and Mikey, he probably is. How old is Mikey?
29, 30, yeah.
29.
Dino's about 26.
Two of them shouldn't be
They
playing junior
shouldn't be
football.
playing. Shouldn't be playing at a higher level. But
Yeah,
Oh,
but
about
do you know
that.
what it is, though? In Dean's defence, we had Dean in the podcast and we said it to him, why aren't you playing higher level? And he said, you don't understand the higher level.
Yeah.
Like, it's not a case of, I'll go up to higher level. Like,
Yeah.
It's
I remember-
hard.
I listened to him saying that actually. He said that the step up is...
so you play higher
and it
level.
is, yeah,
you play higher
it's
level. Like,
different, yeah.
Do you know, it's easy to say, oh yeah, I'm Lord in the
No, I
junior
didn't play
game.
Ireland, but thanks.
Tell him about the B-team cup you won.
For someone like Dean, though, it's more restrictive for Dean the higher he goes. Because you know what Dean,
100%.
He plays free and all that. When you go up higher, they don't want you doing that.
He's probably
roaming or,
overcoached, Graham. Probably been overcoached or, overtaught, and
yeah.
it's just like, let me do me.
Yeah.
Maybe if you got into a right club at that level, that was like, hey,
get
go
that
play,
bit of
man.
luck, but
Do you know?
yeah, I don't think it. I think it comes down to the two centre halves on each side and the goalkeeper.
Well,
I think because I think Evergreen are so good in both boxes.
Big call from Evergreen as well, changing.
I think-
Well, Tato got injured.
Yeah, the
He
goalkeeper
got injured actually. Was it against G or against Wexford? It was in Pat's ground anyway.
probably against us the first night, was
It
it?
was the Oscar trainer anyway.
The one we won.
Did you win
no,
one?
I'd say it was the one you lost. No, it was definitely the one you lost.
You won one down the Dermot there, 2018. Remember that one?
No, I was away.
I wasn't born then. I'm only young.
I was out with that in
but
fairness.
that's like
He
Tato's
was out
back.
for a good
Tato's
while,
back
yeah.
now, yeah. And Keane
So
still.
there's a decision there to make.
Well,
I don't think there is.
so. I think Keane has been in
I
for
think
that
the young
while.
lad will
Yeah.
play Keane,
Oh, will he?
Yeah. No, I would be shocked if he doesn't. Like he's
If two of them are fit, who are you picking?
me personally. I'd pick Keane.
I'd pick Tato.
Yeah, I'd pick Keane. I think he's.
No, he's a goalkeeper, but I'd pick
he's
Tato.
Potato might crumble though, but
He's 6'2". It's not a pick on him. He's
Big presence.
Big presence.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and a lovely
Is he
lad.
loud? Is he vocal?
He's getting there. He's
Mine's
getting
He's only
there.
a chap, is he?
Yeah, he's only a chap. Yeah, he's only what 20.
21, 22?
Ah, he's-
around that. Yeah,
23.
Yeah, he's only and very new to the game at that level. With Evergreen,
just go back to what the statement, Graham. Tell me about the centre halves. Why do you think centre halves going to have an impact?
because I think Evergreen's two centre halves and especially Delaney is so good in both boxes, defending and attacking, that if the two New York centre halves are not switched on, which obviously they are really good centre halves because they're winning so much, but if they're not focused, I think Lee Delaney has. I know it's Drennan and Dean,
Yeah.
but I think
I think
Delaney,
there's more to the game than that.
I think Lee
100,
Delaney is
100%.
the best centre half around in junior soccer.
Yeah, it's a good player.
Well, if you look at both sides coming from wide, quality of football, quality of balls delivered from both sides are really, really good. From both teams.
From their fullbacks and their wide men.
Yeah, are very, very good. Then it's who gets the chance, and then if you have someone like, you have Lee Delaney, we mightn't hear him, but he's constantly pulling, step, hold, But then if you have Dotsy,
He's the same.
Dotsy the same, but Dotsy is lightning, covering places.
He's such a good reader of the game.
But my whole thing is that Evergreen, we were out there the other day, the place is phenomenal. They feel they have to win it. And I think that will give them the edge. They have to win
I
it.
don't think it'll give them an edge. I think it'll create a kind of
Bit of pressure on.
niggly atmosphere. Yeah, like because let me tell you, like you can go in, they can go in thinking they're going to win and confident. They're not playing a broken pony, lads.
Oh, I know. But
No, do you know what I mean?
No.
Like, and for me, if I'm the manager of that no walk side, I'm saying, let's do this in 5-minute windows.
yeah,
Let's play this in 5-minute
I can
windows.
see that, yeah.
Because they will get a chance.
Yeah.
110%.
They will, yeah.
But I don't think there'll be a host of chances. I'd love it to be an open game and nobody man-marked. I'd love it to be an open, free-flowing game. And I think there's a difference there that Newark are a little bit more free-playing. Evergreen play their systems with the runs and the laybacks and all that. I think it'd be a great game to watch. If you were a neutral, it'd be a phenomenal game to go to.
Yeah.
It really will be the top of junior football in the area by a mile.
Definitely,
And every other club, Carlow, Kilkenny, Waterford, wherever, should be looking and
I'd
going,
say it'll be absolutely packed.
this is where we need
The
to be.
weather as
lads.
well are giving, isn't it?
Like I tell you,
Brilliant. That'll be a
A big factor too.
big factor too.
What?
The weather.
The weather is a massive factor.
Oh, yeah.
If it's like this, like today, or they're saying 22, 23 degrees,
We
when
played-
you're in the middle of the pitch,
yeah.
you're up.
It'll be
3
tough.
more.
We played the
26.
semi-final against Willow. I think it was Willow Park or Peters from Athlone in Pats,
Two other good tough teams,
and
yeah.
we played them, and it was the warmest day ever.
Yeah.
I was
Half
going to be
time,
like,
couldn't
what
wait
year
to
was
get
that?
into the shade.
2008?
Get into the dressing room.
No, get into the shades under the trees. We're laying under the trees. It was cooking like a fucking sausage. It was.
Talking about the levels that, and if anybody in their clubs or in the Carlow and they have kids that are going to go through their schoolboys and into their junior club,
Yeah.
get them in the car,
Oh,
go
yeah.
down
Down,
and watch.
yeah.
We won the Leinster in 2008, and the thing in Freebooters was, with all them was, and I firmly believe, not the team I had, team before that, they had left an FAI behind them, without a shadow of a doubt. Myself and Sean went to look at a Leinster or an FAI semi-final, don't know where it was, but we went off in the car, and then I couldn't go in the end, and Sean was down with James Kelly, and I rang him. Was it?
Tramore, I think you went building sandcastles.
And this is demo. I'll be dropping them back after.
You stop dropping the hand on me anyway.
But I rang Sean. It was an FAI Junior Cup semi-final or something, and we were trying to build to that level.
Yeah.
And I says, well, how would we fare? He said, we're not within an ass's roar, them lads, yeah.
And where was that in your journey? 2008?
2008, yeah. So things didn't go well for us after we didn't get up there, but...
You haven't won a league since?
No, we haven't. That's another story. That's another story.
Well, we'll get to that one.
Don't mention the war.
Talk about the leagues, lads. I know. He asked the question on your own podcast, Carlow and Kilkenny, but let's focus on the leagues through the clubs that are going, right? So, Noak have won the league in Carlow 2 years now. When's the last time Evergreen didn't win the Kilkenny League?
2015.
Thomastown.
They've done 8 in a row there now, yeah.
And they did
But let's go from 2015 back to 2008.
Oh, yeah.
It's been Evergreen Booters and then Evergreen to 15 and then Evergreen
we
since.
won our last league in 2009-10, was it?
Yeah, 2009-10.
So they won 4, lost 1, won 8. So they're 12 out of the last 13.
That was the year we came second, right?
We should let you win that one.
You bet us in the last. But anyway, but so that, like, do you think that
actually you should have got over the line that day?
We should have, we threw it away,
Yeah.
But look, such is life. We got one.
But that's
now.
what I'm saying. Like Sunday, probably throw it away Sunday against the Kilkenny boys.
This is New York Evergreen, not free booters pants. Relax, lads. Next chapter. Turn over the page there, bud.
No,
Like an episode of Reading in the Ears there.
I don't think.
I get burned walking through the door there, so I am.
I don't think it's Evergreen's problem that.
Yeah, no, I agree 200%. But you know what?
I think that's the opposite, though. I think it's a stronger league in Carlow than it is in Kilkenny. And that's why, imagine a team like that as good as that New York team, haven't won the league. It's only 2 years, but it's 2 years.
2 years, yeah.
Last year they went unbeaten in the league and didn't win the league.
I wouldn't have.
But how many teams have you win the leagues? Like, it's not like you have 6 different league winners in the last 6 years.
Well, 3 different last 3
When
years.
Damien said it on our one, I would have straight away said no. And I said this to you,
Yeah.
But what I would say is, I think if you take Evergreen and the setup to have and put them into the Carlow League, they could go and be as every bit as dominant. Not 8 in a row, but would be a really strong
3 or 5 sort of this kind of thing.
Yeah, I don't know. Like,
I know. Just think they're.
I introduced you to a lot more soccer outside freebooters. Like, there's more going on in the world.
Yeah, but when you're driving a Merc, do you really want to get into Fiesta? Like,
yeah, because if it brings to other games.
Yeah, okay, go on. Tell us all about your exploits in Division Z.
Well,
lads are at each other.
Daddy popcorn, the same lad in love with lads in the 3rd division.
Yeah, well, he's a fair player.
Yeah. Mr. Shefflin.
I don't know. You're throwing me now.
I was just saying that if Evergreen came in.
Oh yeah, like I was going to say, like.
Be,
yeah, but from a point of preparation,
if you get an off day in Carlow, you get punished.
Yeah,
I think Evergreen had one at the start of the year and drew with Thomastown. I think Thomastown got a goal in the last minute or something to equalise. But I think they could have had a lot more off days in the league in Kilkenny and got away with it. They can play different lads to get away with it. I don't think seeing what any games I saw through the Carlow League during the year, because I'd come up an odd time and watch games up here as well. But
you can flip that scenario and say if they're having a better test, they'll just rise.
But that's why I'm trying to say in relation to the team being prepared for this game, I think Noak had the better preparation.
I think so
from
too.
Games
I
than
think
Evergreen
could have done with the game going back to our time. They could have done with the game against Freeboot Saturday night.
Absolutely.
They should have.
Things are different. When we got
this freebooters or no freebooters?
No, this freebooters are there now.
When we got there many moons ago, when we played we didn't have games before it. The first one that we thought were good, and we played Evergreen in the friendly. Like Billy Welsh's team played us, brilliant game the week before it, and they thumped us. Best thing could have happened. Yeah, you went into the game then but I just think this Evergreen team are so used to their setup. They're so used to rolling through the league, rolling through they've been knocked out of cup this year and the Shield in Kilkenny. So
they won the Shield.
They were knocked out of both last year. So
and
it's not like
they're winning.
Year, They're not winning
everything
trebles which they had from previous.
They were brought out to a forest.
I know, but we just they're just so used to their setup, their system. They're comfortable in their skin.
Yeah, but look, here's
New
York have had 8 trophies out of 8.
Yeah.
Then they picked up 2 the following year. They've won this year already. They're in the final of the Premier Cup. They're in the final of the
Leinster Junior,
the final of Leinster and the semi-final of the Carlow Cup.
Yeah.
they're predominant winners as well.
Oh yeah,
you know.
No, I wouldn't.
That's
I
what's going to
wouldn't
make it a great game.
Like, yeah, you couldn't get two
but I
better
just
teams
don't
put
think
together now.
I don't think the weakness of the Kilkenny League is going to affect Evergreen as much as people would want to think.
Yeah.
Because the league is weak.
When
There's
we spoke to Evergreen
But it's
last
an
night.
exceptional group of players, you think?
I think they are,
Yeah.
I just think
Yeah.
the whole... It's not that they've found it or stumbled into it, because they've worked really hard at it. But now it just seems like everything is aligned.
Oh,
lads.
rookie
Thought you do a
early.
podcast. Answer that for the crack. Put my loudspeaker.
My brother, he just told me to go fuck off.
We're all thinking the same.
Yeah, I just think they're after...
I check mine.
No, I get you 100%. But I just think, say, in games where it's difficult, they have more experience of playing in games that are really difficult. I don't think. And if you talk about, I'm just talking about the league. Forget about the FAI Junior. Forget about the cups and all that crack.
Yeah.
Just in a week to week in your league, Noak have more difficult games to encounter, to get over than Evergreen do.
Yeah.
And that will have to start.
And they actually have
Noak.
more games in their like Premier and Kilkenny is
Well,
7
so you're
teams.
7 teams. Yeah. And
But that's all changing this year, and I give the league a shout out. They are working hard to rectify things. We haven't been quiet in pointing out a few things that need to be. Some of them have been cut out of the show, but there you go. That's another issue. But
Not having I said no, or Graham, or Johnny.
Yeah, you say nothing wrong ever.
Yeah.
You're perfect. Yeah, your wife loves you as well.
Perfect
Your wife
in
loves you,
every
doesn't she?
You're not.
No, I don't think so. But
Don't blame her.
I think there's a couple of teams coming into Kilkenny now that are going to push on. But Evergreen are now, they're way better. Their whole club is set up much better than anybody in the vicinity. They're streets ahead.
But is it not frustrating to look, like, say for instance, take Carlow, right? Hanover getting an AstroTurf, putting their ducks in line. Noak are developing, Pats are developing, Kleshner are developing, Burnside are developing, St. Anne's, their junior team is gone, they're getting it back to developing in for an AstroTurf as well. Like, does it not frustrate you looking at Evergreen go so far away from the nearest club in relation to numbers, in relation to coaching quality, in relation to setup? Like, why aren't the clubs staying here, boys?
Well, we were out there last night and we were looking at it and we were saying, oh, they're miles ahead, but they're years ahead.
Yeah.
Like, because I was out at a cup semi-final there Saturday evening, and I was talking to a man as we were walking out who wouldn't be a major soccer man at all. His young lad is kind of a hurler and started playing this year, and he was like, Jesus, this is unreal here, isn't it? The whole lot. How long are they at this? And I had to think about it, and I said, when I was youths, 22 years ago, that was the first year we played there, so they're building that for 22 years.
Yeah.
But every year something has got better, better, and it's still doing the same. Like, even after launching their lotto there, that they're going building the dressing rooms and everything as well. It's unbelievable. The grass pitch we walked on last night out there.
I've been off in the National League the last couple of years, and I would say Shamrock Rovers' biggest club in the country at the moment. Their training place there, it would be in the halfpenny place compared to what they have out there.
Rovers?
Rovers compared to
Rollstone,
Evergreen, not even close to what Evergreen have.
Yeah, I know.
Not even close.
Been
You
on
go
loads of
to
times.
all over the country. You go to Cork City down there, use Bishopstown and all.
Yeah.
Not within an ass's roar of what's out there. So for me, if us and other teams don't do something, they're going to go so far ahead you're never going to catch them. And it has to be that people, like, I'm too old now, but people like when I was in there, hang on, they're a target, I want to get them.
Is it too late?
I don't think it's too late, but I would give it. The thing I'm wondering is, where are they going? They have a plan. They've always had a long-term plan. Where are they going?
Third tier?
They're not setting that up out there for junior football. If I was them,
Well, it's too good probably for junior football, is it?
That is. They could go in National League now and have all the requirements for an academy, National League academy out there now.
Would they get ahead of CK, the third tier?
They would, with what they have out there to get ahead of, I would say, nearly every junior club in the country. It's phenomenal what they've done. And it galls me as a freebooters man to say it, but you have to take your hat off to them. And I was one of the problems in freebooters.
Yeah.
The boys wanted to leave. There was a movement to leave the Fair Green at one stage, and I was going, it's a historic home and all
It's
that when you're
tradition.
younger.
Yeah.
Stupid thing I was saying. We should have left it.
Where were you looking to go?
Just out the road a little bit and do the same kind of thing. And we didn't go.
Yeah, but everyone else, everyone is missing the point with them too. They Evergreen didn't do one or the other. Every other club in Kilkenny is doing one or the other. They're successful on the pitch, but they have no setup. So we'll work on the setup and the pitch.
The football goes down.
Falls.
Yeah.
It's happened in Booters. Comer went that way. Thomastown are that way now. Evergreen never
Come
went
both.
down
I
while
took
they
the
were
eye
building.
off the ball, yeah.
So it's their committee side was completely different than their footballing side.
Yeah.
Whereas everyone else is,
Double jobbing.
it's one or the other. We're either
That's
going
a
to build up
fantastic
this
point.
or we're going to do this.
Yeah.
So
You'd have to take your hat
that's,
off to them.
Yeah.
Like even the sponsorship they have out there is top class sponsorship. It's not the local butcher giving you a set of jerseys. Do you know what I mean? And no
Yeah.
disrespect to lads who do that, but their sponsorship is professional sponsorship. You drive in the gates, there's stewards car parking, there's a roundabout to get in and out. They have 2 AstroTurf pitches. They have a
Sand.
state-of-the-art grass pitch here, another one there. They're going to put up a lovely complex.
And people miss the point too on, they'll never get the credit they deserve, but it's the old lads that,
Yeah.
years ago when I started playing, Evergreen were in, like they played St. Kevin's in the Fair Green one day because they didn't have a pitch.
Didn't have a pitch.
Yeah.
But they
You
had
know,
4
but they were.
Yeah.
But like
You
you
know.
see, you go out there and you go into the shop, and Mick Hennessy is the first one that you meet. Mick Hennessy used to drive out to Stonyford when Evergreen wanted to sign me at Youths and collect me. And I remember him bringing me to Clonmel.
Give you free videos
to
as
everything,
well. He
the
was
whole
on
lot.
the video
The
shop.
whole
Oh,
lot,
did he?
Yeah, he was giving you all the free
Chipping the
videos.
bar
wasn't he?
sausage, that's what made it for me.
Typical. This is the first time you didn't get something for free and you're whinging about it.
Well,
You're getting
sure.
free stuff all your life.
Well, sure,
Look
I'm
at you.
doing all the work for you.
Who got a jacket outside?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the first time you didn't get
At
something.
least it doesn't fit him. I don't mind
It
about that.
does
no.
fit me.
Doesn't zip up.
And when
It's
we're back
supposed to
down
zip up.
next year,
There's a
lads, right?
stretchy zip in that one.
It does fit me.
He thought there was a parachute in the back of it. He was so tight.
You need a parachute going home.
Yeah, we went
I'm
down.
driving.
You'll be running behind that.
I'm
Jeep.
just going to close the book. I'm just going to
Yeah, we're
stand
gone
there
on
and
a
observe.
tangent there, wherever we went
It's
there,
brilliant. Yeah, I love
But
when it
anyway,
goes on
back to
tangents.
Evergreen will win Sunday.
Wow.
They will. They're primed to win everything.
Well, you
every-
Now that's
Can-
coming from the Kilkenny League looking in.
Slow down now.
They've been aiming towards that.
Now, can I ask you two
No,
a
no,
question?
hold on a second.
No, just
No,
before
no.
we go with this. You're a Hanover man. You're a Pats man.
Yeah.
Do you genuinely want New Walk to win?
Yeah.
Of course, 100%.
Do you? Okay.
I think it's great. I
Do
think
you?
it'd be great for Carlow
Do I
Soccer.
genuinely want Evergreen to win? Me in my heart, no. Because
I know-
I don't like them.
I know
But I
lads-
want them to win because I have massive respect for them.
I know lads in my club
Is
that
that fair
don't want
enough?
Noak to win. And I get that as well. Like, I'm
You know,
sure there is
It'd be
people.
great for Kilkenny Soccer if
My
they do.
opinion on that is, if I'm playing you walk in the morning, I want to hammer them.
Yeah.
But if you walk go outside of Carlow, if they're representing Carlow though, now I have my Carlow hat on.
Come on.
That's it. End of story.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's I just.
Yeah, because it is up in
And when they
Kilkenny.
win,
it's-
I can't wait for your apology.
Yeah. But exact same, I could look at them all at the weekend. Like,
Will I be sending it down by carrier pigeon, will it?
Yeah, no, it's yeah. Look, I wouldn't.
I can see it. I
wouldn't
can
cost
see
me
it.
a thought one
I
way
don't.
or
I
the
don't
other.
Well,
think this
no.
New York team panics. I think
Not
you gotta
really,
give them
no.
situations.
properly.
I can see a sponsor. I can see a
Come out,
sponsor
come out, come out.
challenge between us, lads.
come out.
We're not
bring it
involved in
around.
it. Do you know what I mean? You're not. So to me, like, if Evergreen win it, I'd be delighted for the two nephews. And
See, I'm
there'll
very
be
caught now.
there'll be lads out in Evergreen that are out there years that like.
They burn you.
Yeah, but you'd be saying like Jesus, like Mick Hennessy we're talking about,
Yeah.
and I'm sure there's lads in New Oak that
Jim
are there
Crow
years.
out there.
Peter
that
Enderbury.
if they get it, how
They
could you
deserve
say?
it. No, they deserve
Oh,
it.
you don't. You know, no, I wouldn't begrudge them it at all. Like,
No, and the reason a lot of people like him, don't like him is because they've won so much.
Yeah, I hope both teams play
Absolutely.
really well.
That's
and let the best
That's
team
terrible,
win.
yeah.
Finished
That's
on
the
the
Australian
day,
mentality.
or is it a
Yeah.
replay?
I'm not sure of that.
Finish
No,
on
it's
the day,
finishing
I
on
think.
the
finish on the day, yeah. No, it's
I
finished on
tell
the
you what it means, to just go back to what you're saying, what it means to Carlow
Carlow,
Soccer, right?
yeah.
It makes it realistic for us.
In what way?
In that, likes of Hanover, I know Craic got there before,
Yeah.
but there's a second team in Carlow getting there. St. Pat's got bet in a quarter final this year.
Yeah.
Hanover got bet in a semi final. So, likes of a collection, a Burn
Okay,
Celtic,
yeah, I see where you're going, yeah.
whoever, Bagnestown, it makes it realistic for them to say, this isn't miles away, lads.
Yeah. See,
You can
that's
get
why-
there yourself.
And the killer is because the gap from New Walk to the bottom team in Carlow is a quite a lot closer
Yeah,
from the gap between Evergreen
Yeah,
and the
that's
bottom
what I was
team.
going to say.
Kilkenny.
Like teams in Kilkenny are looking at it going, maybe Bridge United are thinking we might come close to him, we might catch him, but
Well, the
It's
bet
no
is
one
in
else-
McCallum.
no
it's
one
like
else
2 mile
is.
down there. It's like non-competitive, isn't it, when there's someone against it?
yes, there's no point.
It is like it's-
Well, the thing about it is, and I always said about, I can only talk about ourselves, is that we didn't go out hoping to win. We went out, we're going to win. Now, we get bet, but we focused on, listen, we're going to win today. Now the problem is clubs in the Premier Division are hoping to win it. And there's a difference between wanting to win it and trying to win it and hoping to win it.
Probably
There's a
hoping to
big-
field the team, they
There's a
might win
big
it.
difference between that.
I
So every
think-
competition we went into, we were
Yeah,
going,
I think you walk learn from last year in regards of the they got beaten in the semi-final, but the reason they got beaten is because 3 players were missing from suspensions, from red cards in the previous game, and it was the 2 centre halves.
Do you think on a hot day now
and
will the
Lee
holder?
Walker? And now this year, I know James McGrath got sent off on the play Wexford Boys again, 10-15 minutes in, but they dug in and got the shift done with 10 men against Wexford Boys down there again, and they know they're like, if we're going to be ill-disciplined, it's going to cost us. If we keep everybody in the field and we're at it, we could beat anybody in the country. And I think we have to learn from that.
So you're looking at the 2 management structures, right?
Yeah.
Would you think the New Oak side are better than the Evergreen side? Would you reckon in say game management, the way they're going to approach it? Would you think like there's Gavin and
Gavin, Eric McCormack, Eddie Shaw,
Yeah.
Ham does the there, and Glenn Sweeney used to be with him as well.
Yeah, I only heard Slick was involved.
Slick is involved with him.
Playing with Kilkenny City.
Slick does the warm up, and
he met him in. Where was it? Shelton Abbey? Was it? Is that where you went?
You don't even know where that is. Really. Stop.
Yeah.
It's in Shelton.
Slick when John McGrath left.
Cheltenham Abbey, he's in.
Slick went in. He's playing with the 35s as well.
You know what? It's a very hard thing to call because you can only judge a manager or management team live, I think, when you're watching the game.
I think Evergreen now with Johnny Dunleavy and with Craig Wall in it as well, I think they're after adding some serious balls to their string with the 2 lads.
I can tell you this from being involved with Gavin and the Oscar trainers, the respect them players have for that man.
Yeah.
Really?
Oh my God.
He's a lovely fella, though.
He's a gentleman.
It's hard not to like him.
Graham, as you said,
He's a nice fella.
Graham mentioned him in his
Yeah, but he's a winner as well.
He's a winner.
But Gary Maher's a gentleman.
Yeah.
I'm
not saying he's not.
He's
but
a lovely
I'm
fella.
saying when you walk by to them, he's like a legend in your walk club.
Is he?
He's like.
He's a bit like Damien.
Let's not
in
go
Division 3.
to outfield players. Davy Walker, but brilliant outfield player. Do you know what I mean? These kind of players. Dean Kelly. We're talking about a goalkeeper. And sometimes you don't get the respect.
No.
He was a brilliant footballer.
Right, just say Sunday.
Hang on now. You're hardly slagging me and you never played above the first division. And I'm not talking about League of Ireland first division.
Drink of water.
First division.
Puccino one, not water.
Kilkenny.
I played 5 games for our A team, scored 6 goals, and they got
5
scared.
games.
And they
That was
got,
on pre-season.
and I scored 6. They got afraid. They said, "Jeez, we can't bring him up." He loved said all the boys.
Mad that he was the only one there.
If it goes wrong
Charlie
for
Chaplin was referee.
Dino is not having a good game, or Mikey having a good game, will they have the balls to take him off?
Dino will not leave the field unless he's injured.
And I don't think
Mikey
he
really
takes
said-
Drennan off either. No matter what.
Because that is a ridiculous move from a manager.
Yeah, both of them
If I'm
are.
managing that team and I'm going,
It's a ridiculous
there's
statement to make
there's
anyway.
players on the
Why?
field not coming off. There's certain players in the field
Yeah.
won't come off.
But what if he's having a bad game?
Yeah,
Lose
doesn't
the
matter.
plot?
Both of them
He's a
are
touch
a
of
touch of magic in the 90th
There's
minutes.
one rule that was said to me years and years ago when I started coaching and managing. If you have magic on the pitch and you're up against it, he's the last person you take off.
Yeah, that was the mantra I was played by. Yeah.
They for the managers, you're talking about the managers. The one thing I'll say,
Paul Daniels' book said,
well, I would have always said today, even Grinny and all the Evergreen lads, for the last 5 or 6 years, they've been trying hard to go winning these. They could never get over away games. That's what killed Evergreen.
Yeah.
Like Wexford Bows, or when they'd lose, when they were going away to a team, you'd say, they're going away, I don't know if they'll have it if things don't go well, whether they'll get over the line. This year they've done that. They've gone away
everywhere, yeah.
and
They've grinded them.
They've ground out wins, which is not
it's
not something they've ever had to do in local. So when they were going away, I'd always say, look, I don't think they'll get over them, because like if this 2 years ago, if this game had been in a walk, I would be saying, if that gets feisty, I don't think Evergreen will mentally have it.
Right.
Whereas now I wouldn't say that. Like no matter where they were going, I'd say they'll have
I
a
think
chance.
they've
I
learned
think
from it.
Dean-
They don't
I think,
let things bother
your
them
man
anymore.
Mikey will listen to when he's on the podcast here, that he will learn from what the Sheriff boys did to him.
Oh,
in the
yeah.
tunnel.
Yeah.
100%.
And someone is going to lay something on him in the first 5 minutes.
seen
Let's be
Gavin
honest,
by the
if you
Super
were,
Soaker
don't
there
get a chance, you're
and
going to
yeah,
lace him,
you're going to chance it, yeah.
ain't you? If your first 5 minutes you're going to lace him.
Yeah.
And then someone will do the same to Dean Kelly.
Yeah.
And there'll be no reaction on none of them.
No.
But it's
But
amazing
there is
John,
other players in the field.
but it's amazing John Rock at the time knew to do that
There
though.
is, yeah.
Wasn't John
John
Rock?
Rock.
No, it wasn't. It was centre half, wasn't it?
Oh, John Rock done it too.
Striker, yeah.
Wasn't
John
it?
No, I thought you said it was centre half.
Was
I
it?
thought
Yeah, I
you
thought
said
you said
centre
centre
half.
half.
But
yeah.
somebody
One of
obviously
the-
said, listen, you can get into this lad's head.
But Mikey sat there
Yeah,
and
but
he
he was
said,
younger then, wasn't he?
Oh,
he
he was
was he there was a couple of things during the week that was seemingly said that he never said, and it got back to them, and that was a bit of a weird one, I think, on Mikey's
Yeah.
behalf, to be honest with you.
And look,
Someone really set him up there.
Well, he's
Mikey
very
was
mature now.
Mikey was in a
He is.
totally different,
environment.
you know,
Yeah, he's-
and it's hard to come back and all that, and there was some pressure on him because Evergreen in the FA final, and Mikey was the main man, like,
Yeah.
you know, so there was loads of, whereas this one, he's the main man, but he is the main man now, like, there's nothing on his shoulders
Well,
now.
it's not
He
burden
is
on him
the-
now.
you know, it's
When he
not
was
like
20,
before
he was 20 then, I'd say, wasn't
yeah,
he?
and it's on his
19 or 20.
shoulders now. He can
He's
see the
carefree
way he
sort of,
carries
isn't he?
himself. Yeah, no, look,
I met him on the
he's-
town this time last year, and I knew well about him before I ever met him. You know, Kilkenny's a small town, and I always felt that there was
Try to
pressure
live in
on
Carlow, bud.
Yeah. I always felt there was pressure on him, even as a kid. Like, he had to make it, he had to go away. Oh, he's gone away. Our Mikey he's with Aston Villa, he's going to play for it. And it was there was nobody kind of going, is the kid enjoying himself? Like?
Yeah.
So I met him last year and I said, Mikey, do you enjoy? When is the last time you enjoyed soccer? He said, I met him right outside the town hall in town. I was sitting down waiting for the miss. And he said, I've always enjoyed it. He said, it's the stuff around it that I didn't particularly enjoy. But he said, the game itself, I love it, he said. So now he has that maturity. I think if he starts dictating the play on Sunday and Evergreen get up ahead of steam, New York will have their backs to the wall. No, I'm not saying they're not going to deal with backs to the wall.
But that flips both ways, though.
It does.
So both of them have league of their experience. Both of them
Yeah.
are obviously their team's best players.
Yeah.
Someone's going to have a stinker of a game, regardless of New York or Evergreen.
Yeah.
Someone's going to have an outstanding game.
Yeah.
Like, it comes down to who takes your chances on the day. I think Dino will grow himself into the game. He does it every single game. He drops a little deeper, whatever he does.
Yeah.
Evergreen will done their homework on him. They're not stupid either.
No.
They
But I
will
mean,
do
the
their
whole
homework
country
on him.
knows who he is. Like.
Everybody
Yeah.
knows who he is. But everyone knows who Mikey is now
Yeah,
because
they
he was
do, of
on our
course, they do.
podcast. I know, but he's a top class
That's
player.
global.
I
Hey,
don't
we
think-
any Russian listeners? We have one Russian
I don't think
We
they'll,
have listeners everywhere. It's
I don't think-
ridiculous.
Name the countries, Podge.
I can't
Sick of
remember.
them, man.
Evergreen won't. Evergreen, I don't think he'll do anything specific with Dean.
I don't think so. No.
I want to go back to the point you just made there about the competition. Do you think the journey matters that much to get to it?
Yeah, yeah. You need.
Well, it's a cup final.
Yeah, you do. You need to have it in the tank. You need it in your head going into that game that if the first 20 minutes doesn't go well, we can still get there. Like,
Yeah.
Because we've had it in
yeah,
previous rounds.
We've
Yeah.
done it. Like,
Okay.
we went through one. We won what 4 penalty shootouts to get there. Like, and we won the
Yeah,
final in
yeah.
a penalty shootout. Like,
Did you?
yeah, we were 4 away.
Well, that
games,
was the
like, in
that was the
Dublin.
last one you won. I was
Yeah.
at that match.
Must have had a good keeper.
But the penalties were shocking.
Never say that.
But when you've gone through it with the same group of lads, like Newark will know it. Like when they were winning those 2 quadruples, that's not easy done. They weren't
No.
just rambling through. So they know in them games, like obviously there was some games where, like going down to, you were saying down in the All Blacks or Wexford Bows, down to 10 men. But the difference was this year they were able to
Able to flip it.
get through it. Like,
Yeah.
Wasn't
so
there
I
one
do
of
think
them-
that
Under
surely
one of
makes
them
a big
quadruples,
difference.
Dean was
Yeah,
gone
it's a fair
away as well,
point.
wasn't he?
Yeah, he was. He was in England, yeah.
And they
Yeah.
had. Was he in Australia or somewhere?
Yeah, he was in
What's
England.
that?
He was in London, wasn't he, Dean, for a while?
He was in Canada.
Oh, Canada, sorry.
Canada for a
Was
year.
the chap that came in with Jordan Harmon, was it? Or
No,
Cody-
Cody
yeah,
Mulhall.
yeah.
Yeah.
But the thing I would say is, we were. I don't know if Graham remembers this. We were up in the quarter final up in Dublin. They
wasn't
brought us
born.
up one Sunday morning. We were up there really early. Remember, kick-off was 11 o'clock. It was the far side of Dublin.
Yeah, but you do the same, though.
Right, and we were 2-0 up at half time, and the man,
believe it
the
or not,
captain,
KDL won't.
yeah, the KDL wouldn't do that for you.
Well, the Carlow League, if you sorry, no,
But you
took us.
look at the tally game.
12 o'clock on the Saturday.
Yeah.
12 o'clock on
Yeah.
Saturday
What's
up in
that
Dublin.
Tough set.
If your league game is 11 o'clock with
They went
KDL,
up and won it.
it's 11
Tough
o'clock.
set,
if it's
My club,
2.
Blake Club,
It's
the
2
youths.
in the
But that's not
Leicester
the
youth
rule, though.
semi-final. 2 o'clock on a Sunday. 1 o'clock on a Sunday.
That was ridiculous, yeah.
Who plays youths on a fucking Sunday?
Nobody.
Yeah.
But Dublin team's just
Yeah, it just upset you. And coming off the pitch, a half time going back on the pitch, you know, you do your whatever you're doing. And the captain at the time, Michael Falsey, just said to the boys, "We fucking lose this," he said. "You won't have to worry about them." And I goes to Sean, "We're all right today." Now we got out there 2-0 and got
Someone
onto the
crashed
final.
going off, didn't they?
Lads crashed on the way up and everything.
No,
Where
I
were you
wouldn't,
saying to?
I wouldn't
The-
say that was
far
because
side
they
The far
were-
side of Dublin. I was in
It
a
was
park.
very early in the morning. They
I was
were
in a
going
park,
up like.
graffiti everywhere. Jesus, it was like
It was one of them
going to
ones-
Galatasaray. Like,
Yeah, they weren't
you know?
good, like, but they were just trying to.
dogged. And when they're all sitting in the dressing room, maybe their last training session this week, and we were talking about Tommy Phelan the other day. Sometimes you'd be sitting in the dressing room and, you know, you're having your own thoughts. It's who look around the dressing room and go, just I have Poppa with me, I have Podge with me, just have Graham with me, I have Damien with me, we'll be all right. It's the lads who can
If it
look
was a
around
small
at the boys.
five-a-side, we'd be all right.
You know, but if the lads in the-
That'd be a big 5-a-side.
yeah, but you know what I mean? If the lads in the dressing room are looking around and going, I'd say
We're a good
Dino's
keeper,
going,
alright.
I know Fester won't let me down.
Yeah.
I know we're good in goal.
Do
I
you think
know-
emotion plays a part?
Oh, massive. Emotion is going, the first 10 minutes is going to be critical.
Yeah.
Thing I love about it is
Because-
both of them are on the same kind of a level. Like, you're not getting someone going in against, like, you know, a
Pats.
Port
Never
Marnock team
there
a
or
few
whatever.
years ago, or
Yeah.
someone who's been there before, done it all before. Both of them really want to win it. Both of them are top of their games, and both of them are representing
And
their...
both of them have suffered heartache.
Exactly,
Yes.
exactly, yeah, and it's...
Yeah,
Both
and
teams.
that's the thing.
Obviously,
And
everyone wants to win,
I
but
don't ever
definitely
want
no one
that
wants to
feeling
lose.
again. You're
like,
saying
you
in
know,
the
Yeah.
dressing room.
it's a,
I don't ever want it
And
again.
ye spoke eloquently, I should say, same as ourselves, about the new generation of kids coming through that haven't experienced heartache or not allowed experience loss. And
Let's get the mock out.
Just-
That one.
yeah.
everyone's a winner.
yeah, that's it. Johnny comes 56 in a 50-man race. Oh, you were brilliant. Here's a medal. You know, that doesn't set you up for life, let alone sports. But if you go through sports and, like you're saying, you're sitting there, I was here before we lost. I don't give a fuck what happens today. I'm not losing today.
No.
And when
You're
you have
running
that
that
in your
extra
locker,
yard, yeah.
when you have that in your, and you're prepared to run till you get sick,
Is that a hindrance or a help, though?
I think it's a help, depending on the age and profile of the team.
Jeez, I remember we had a warm up in the Shield final years ago, and a player started bleeding. He was that wound up. Like, he was so.
What did he say to you?
That was a scrambled eggs.
What did he say to you?
We were doing a warm up,
Give him a left jab.
100
did you?
miles an hour, and he just started bleeding. I'll never forget.
Wow.
He was just so wound up.
These lads all, though, have won between them all.
Domestically,
they've
yeah.
won
Yeah,
so
yeah.
much.
Winners,
yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
But they've played Leinster senior games as well.
Yeah.
Like, New York have played Bray in the big
Yeah.
game where they know where the standard is above, and then they go
Yeah.
and play
And I think-
North End, where I said on the last episode where no one gave them a chance because
No,
Three
you did
Yard,
that-
Three
that's
Yard beat them, Powerful beat them.
I
I'll
have
be
to
honest
say
with you, we're
that's,
going
they
down to
turn
that
over
game. I didn't
Michaels.
give him a chance either.
that's
I'll be fair.
surprised me. I have to say now.
And it's the way
That
they beat
result.
them.
Yeah, because I
Did the
do
bet come
think
4-0, wasn't it?
2-0. It should have been 4-5.
North End North End are after showing how good they are, like by
Favourites in
getting to
the FA Junior Cup
the
final.
final, like, you know, again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
You know,
Ravenna, what was that
4-1,
weekend?
yeah.
No, I thought that as well, but that was the first round of the Senior Cup.
Oh, was it?
Because I was looking at it going,
Yeah.
fuck,
The lads away and everything.
All right.
Yeah.
I
Research,
thought they were
yeah.
getting thumped. I was going,
Can I
this
ask you
is...
a question?
bud.
Do you think if New Walk happened to win it, we'll
When?
see.
50-50, like.
If they do you think it'll kick him on again?
Yeah.
Or do you think
100%.
it'll finish him?
I think it'll kick him on again. I think it'll help them create a new wave of players.
Think so?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I think the group players that's there are probably in a position where they've outgrown their success and they're on the scale, right?
They want
Where it
the
could
bigger
tip-
trophy.
Where it could tip where it's we've done everything, we're gone,
Yeah.
or it could be we've won this, we're going to add.
Yeah.
I think they're in that kind of they're flirting with that line a little bit because you know it, lads. Be part of a successful team for 4 or 5 years is very hard
Hard, yeah.
because you're talking about retaining and adding a little bit all the time.
Yeah.
And I always find, from my experience, it's not so much getting new players; it's retaining what's already there can be the hard fucking thing.
And myself and Sean did it, and Sean was great at every year he'd bring up a youngster from the youths just into the squad, and we might bring in a player, but it would change the dressing room dynamic straight away when you have a
Unbelievable.
new lad in.
Takes
And-
one lad walking in in pink flip flops or something.
Yeah.
What's wrong with this lad?
Yeah.
You know
And
what I mean? Then you go skin him and he's lethal on the field.
Exactly.
Hey, let him play, man. He can wear what he wants. A mankini in it. Let him just run with the ball.
But even the whole dynamic in the dressing room, he makes friends with another lad, and then
Yeah.
there's a 3 little group together, and they're doing their thing.
Yeah,
The problem we did, I would say, I was probably burnt out 18 months before it finished. Probably should have went.
happens, right?
Probably should have went before then, but I didn't. Because, listen, successful and I was with my family.
Yeah,
But we started bringing in, I remember 2 players we brought in and they were nowhere near good enough for us. Now, you're not the
Fuck
one.
off, I was going to say.
You're not the one.
I was counting the time. I was like, he left then. I was fucking
No,
signed then.
what
I was
him?
like,
We brought in a couple of, in fairness to be him, and I said to him, he should have came to us 4 years earlier. We would have.
it's
done
only for the
serious
Premier
damage.
though.
Yeah.
Premier, yeah.
But we brought in,
only time ever.
we brought in 2 lads from out of town, way out of town, and
Well, Space of 3 years.
they
twice.
weren't freebooters.
Up and down.
You know
You
yourself.
get it.
Certain clubs have an identity where it's certain type of people, if that makes sense. Do you know what I mean? Lads fit in or they don't fit in. We brought in 2 lads that didn't fit in.
Oh, but what led you to them?
I think it was.
Hey, listen, you're not stupid.
I think it was just. I think it was just. I think it was just tiredness, and we just we take him. You know,
Yeah, but
I don't think
it was under some kind of premise where these boys are good.
we're good yet. No, we were starting to falter a little bit. we were starting to falter a little bit, and we're looking to plaster over the cracks at the end, I think.
Yeah.
And Sean was always really good at saying where we need to identify problem. And I would be the one who'd go, I go look at a player, I don't give a shit. I went into a lad's house one day and asked him to sign. His father told him not to, and I just stood there and said, yeah, come on. And he came anyway, and he won loads of medals. I wouldn't give a shit. I'd be a little bit like Badger, I imagine. I don't care. But at that stage, we were probably taking... Last we were taking that we didn't really need it.
He said a lot more air. I wouldn't say a lot.
You're not exactly fucking
Well, you
Brad
just shook
Pitt
it
there
there. You
yourself.
shook it there, and you're like a dandelion. There's stuff on everywhere there.
That's a spray on.
That's something that Evergreen are after doing really well. Like they have lads.
The
From,
recruitment's excellent, right?
They have lads from
Yeah.
from all around. Like they have a couple from Waterford, and there's Clonmel and
It's a point I'd
but
use
they
against
brought
them.
in.
Well, sure.
I would be in the
Oak have
same-
two
I'd
Kilkenny
agree.
lads on it.
I know people would say that, but I don't think it's ever a problem if you're winning. It's only a problem. That's only becomes a problem.
So when you're building.
Yeah, or if you're faltering, people are saying, well, why are we not bringing them up? Why are we bringing in A or B? But it's not a new thing with Evergreen.
No, I'm not saying
Like
that.
Billy Walsh, when he was years ago, your man Giles Cheevers come up and played. They'd always, if someone is good enough, they'll bring in.
And that's
It's not
right. That is right.
but they've handled it really well this time.
The flaw I have against them, and like I said, they're exceptional, everything they've done, but they're not producing their own players.
Well, their B team came up out of the first division last year, and they probably Gary went and took. I'm going to say 3, maybe 4. I don't know. That he obviously brought into the squad that he thought.
Was he over the B team before he took the A team?
No, this would be he's on about their B team now.
Their B team now. That's
okay.
Gary
Lord
Owens
Premier now.
is the same name. Yeah.
But Gary Marr took 3 or 4 of the players from that B team and brought them up to the A team now.
Who are
A few of them, sure, James Carney, I'm nearly sure was playing B team last year. I can't think of the other.
Well, let me
chaps
tell you
now.
this.
There's a few of
As
them.
soon as Evergreen decided to put their B team into the Premier, ended recruitment. For
Yeah,
me.
it does hurt big time, but that's a
Sorry, not
that's a
recruitment,
whole
development,
difference.
sorry.
It's the worst thing that happened to the Kilkenny
Mental, isn't it?
District League.
yeah.
Not just them.
Graham's
We
after
came,
saying it. It's
we
another
came up
fucking
at the same
podcast.
time.
Yeah, that is a totally that's a
and I've said it to Miller and all the boys. What do we think we are in Kilkenny that we can do things completely different to the rest of the world and expect better results?
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't Miller's decision.
Not at the time.
Like we always name poor Miller, and he gets
Yeah.
the blame for everything as
Now, what
Evergreen
are
District League.
what are the Evergreen lads like as a group off the field?
The genuine Evergreen lads do sound.
No, together. This squad of players and
No,
so.
you had to be close. Yeah, to be close. Yeah. To
Is
be-
your mind in playing the 2016 FA Junior final? Or
no. Mikey Lee was on the bench.
Ian Lee.
Lee was on the bench
Lee
for
was
that?
on the
Yeah.
bench for that, which I think
Robbie
still
Kwan
to this
played
day
in front
cost
of him.
I think this New York team are an unbelievable team, but a better group of friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All I can say is,
They're always together. You go
Yeah.
down to Carpenters, there's 14 of them there
yeah,
together.
my own
Yeah.
young
To go
lad
out, to go
is down
together,
there and he
or-
loves it.
Yeah, if
He
they go
loves
out,
it.
to go out together.
Yeah, he loves it
The
down there.
party together. To
This
go and
is-
play foot golf, it's foot golf together.
Now, but
Do
we
everything
were at a christening come going away party there Saturday and all day York, and there was a few of them there and they'd be close.
This is probably one of the first Evergreen groups in a long time I'd say that are like that. They're all a similar age. Similar,
No, yeah, Graham, the reason I asked because you mentioned Clonmel, you mentioned
Yeah.
But I-
Waterford, did you?
I think
Yeah, there's
talking
Waterford
to
and-
talking
but
to Gary
couple of
last
ex-free
night.
boys.
Yeah. 4 ex-freebooters and 1 ex-freebooter coach.
But talking to Gary last night, he mentioned about them big away days that they've had this year.
Yeah.
That's one, I think, major thing that'll
Oh, it's a
send them that they
bonding
had.
session and a half.
Because he was saying that
And
they were,
it's even better if you win.
yeah, he was talking
Yeah.
about going somewhere early in the season and they're on about, we'll get a bus, we mightn't get many away days. And I'd say he got
regretted.
nothing but
He
away
goes, yeah,
days
he thought
after
we
that.
might get
like,
money and they got loads.
off up the country
I
and all
think
that.
that they get bet with is there's a couple of ex-freebooters lads out there. There's a couple of lads from Waterford and Clonmel and all. But especially with the local lads, they wanted them. And they went and got them.
Yeah.
Freebooters
They'd make
let
us
them
better.
go.
Yeah.
The lads in
Yeah.
Clonmel,
You
they
can't
went
fault
and
them.
got them. You know, they went at Taylor, the goalkeeper got injured and they had the foresight in their head. They went and got Keane. Keane was playing with freebooters.
Keane
Like-
played with Freebooters B last year in a cup final against me. Scored on him as well, but sure, look.
Yeah.
And we were
but that
actually,
was that one-
he's good friends with one of our lads.
Is he?
And we were actually trying
At least
to
someone out
sign
there
him.
is a friend.
And no one's fucking friends with you, so it don't matter.
Come on, we're missing
And,
points there, all that.
yeah, sure, we're trying to, but fucking numbnuts here won't shut up.
At least I have a pair of nuts.
Come on.
Right, go on, Davy.
No, you go ahead.
Keane was...
Yeah, we were trying to get
Did
him
they-
to sign, and he was saying he'd sign if he could play outfield. And then out of nowhere, Evergreen signed him.
Really?
Yeah.
Was he signing in
Sure, fucking tell you if
the
you
most recent window, or was it off season?
No, it was off season. This
Oh,
season,
okay.
Yeah, start
But-
season, yeah.
But
Do you reckon he's needing another GK, right?
he would have done, as far as I'm aware now, I could be wrong with this, but he would have been signing with Booters.
Yeah.
He just needed to be told, you're going to play or you're going to get a chance. Now, he didn't do himself any favours in his first couple of years there because he had different jobs and he would be available and not available. But the last couple of years he really has. And they still took the chance, went and got him.
Would he be in the goal if Tata was fit for the season?
No, he wouldn't be, but he should be. If that was
No,
me.
I don't think he
I
would have got
don't
the
think he
chance.
would have got the chance.
Yeah.
Tato's a good goal.
But I do think they wouldn't be in the Leinster final if he wasn't.
If they hadn't assigned him.
Yeah.
But that
Do you think so?
that is quite smart,
Yeah.
though. That's quite good foresight as well, isn't it? To
I've-
get that chap having a
I'm
keeper
not-
right there.
I don't know Tato, and I've seen him playing. He's won loads.
He's granting into the West.
But I've said to you, Damien, I've said it to you, David, I've said it for
Don't
years.
leave me, Tato.
Evergreen have struggled since Packy Holden for a goalkeeper to match the rest of the group.
And you think this chap
I-
matches
so-
it?
well, they're back where they want to be now.
Okay.
So
That's a good point,
the proof
yeah.
is in the pudding.
I'm to give you an opinion of the goalkeeper, eh?
No,
Yeah.
and Tato is not a bad goalkeeper. He's won,
Yeah,
but there's a.
this is a different window with this lad.
I think so.
But it's
Yeah.
obviously the right profile of his
And he's
relation to his
young, yeah.
age and
He's
that.
very
to
young.
get him.
You'll see him Sunday. He's huge.
The
He
deepest
is
voice
everything you
you'll ever
want.
meet, but he's like, well, how's it going, lads?
You know,
He's
he is.
frightened in the dark.
He is everything big.
But you wouldn't,
slim,
but you
fit.
can't. But do you know what it is? Just to go back a little bit, you're talking about bringing in players from here, there, and everywhere. It's not Evergreen's fault.
No, they do what they have to do. They're
no.
right.
Like, do you know?
And
Oh, bang
Graham,
on his face.
Graham has been nice about it there. The previous management in Freebooters, it's their fault an awful lot of players are gone.
Yeah.
Right? And I have no problem saying that. And I said it very
Is
vocally.
that
down.
arrogance? Because freebooters, look, here, I listen to you a lot, lads, and you know, 2 year freebooters, men.
Yeah.
Let's not say any different. Are you too arrogant to
No.
ask them to stay?
No. Oh, yeah, we wouldn't be. No, we would have never.
Like
been.
currently,
I reckon
Are
the
they?
Yeah. Well, when I told you I had an ill-fated stint there, but when I left, Conor English, who is managing Course Bridge now,
yeah.
he was playing with Freebooters. Craig Wall, who's assistant manager, was playing with Freebooters. Andrew Wall was playing with Freebooters. David Doyle, who is with New Oak, was playing with Freebooters. Who else was there?
we lost 9. When
Yeah,
you
there was Chris Phelan,
Phelan,
Emmett
yeah.
Nugent, Paddy Cal, who were all playing with Fort Rangers.
Outrageous.
Went to West. They were all in that Booters group, and they're all gone,
And the problem I
Now,
have
that's
is,
not because I went.
Yeah.
No,
That's
lads,
nothing
he's
to do with
lying.
it.
It is because
it's
you
not,
went.
Stop. It's not. But what happened
What's
was,
stop?
the new
Stop when he
setup
tells you.
that came in, whether they thought I don't need to go after them, or if they don't want to play, let them go. And if you're a new manager going in too, you have to have your own way and your own setup. And maybe they thought we'll bring up younger lads, and they did bring up certain
That's a
younger
lot of
lads.
talented
and,
players,
it's an awful lot of players
When we
gone
were
out of
there,
the group. Yeah.
Johnny, you know Johnny's on the podcast.
Yeah.
With us. So Johnny would have been Parky Holden, Brian Holden, and then Johnny would have been our direct competition, say Evergreen and Freebooters.
Yeah.
And if a player, say, just say Damo, who didn't leave Stonyford, but we would have all been looking for him, in fairness. I don't know if you ever played against him, and just because he's a big Egypt doesn't mean he
I've
wasn't a
seen him
good
play
player.
many times,
He was a
very good.
really, really good player, and we wanted him
Still
early.
is good.
Still
Yeah,
am,
he is,
yes,
but we
the
really
thanks,
wanted him early when he was younger, and he would have won his big trophies. But if he had become available, it would have been a race to who got to the door first. Whether I got down there or Johnny got there. Because we go, hang on, Raggett's available. And it wouldn't be a case of, oh, he's coming to... We would have been down at the door. Listen,
Yeah.
do you fancy coming in with us? And that's the
It
way
was
you have to
closer
do
then,
it.
though. Now,
Yeah.
if
No,
any
you have
club
it.
in Kilkenny goes to you and Gary Maher goes to you,
Yeah. Like the prospect now,
Yeah,
and it's no
you'd be
disrespect.
mad
Yeah,
not
no,
to.
you're dead right.
The prospect now is night and day, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
So whoever takes over freebooters has one hell of a job in their hand
yeah.
Yeah, but I
to
think...
do that. What you're saying,
look,
because if
yeah.
Evergreen are knocking as well, you're like, I'll see you later on.
The rumours around already are that Evergreen have spoke to, now it could be just rumours, but they have spoke to a couple of players already.
Yeah.
But that's
And
illegal,
there's
so we're going to report that.
Well, them teams are finished. That they've spoke
Doesn't matter.
to.
July's the free month. You can't do it, bud. July's the free
I
month.
said they spoke to him. You're not allowed to speak to people.
No,
But there'd
we're
be
in Gilead.
force. Like they are. Look, it's like Real Madrid if they come and in Kilkenny.
Well, Real
at
Madrid
the
are the
minute,
bastards at it, aren't
they're
they?
the biggest draw.
Yeah.
You know, and you're looking
if you're
at
playing with a door open and a lad fell over and Matt plays soccer is brilliant.
yeah.
First thing you do is just a minute.
Yeah,
Whatever.
I'm
You
going
want
to-
to
and
know
then
what
Yeah,
else.
if you're going into Kilkenny and you don't know what, that's where
and
you
history
go.
doesn't make
Where
a
did he
difference.
fall off?
Fell over playing.
What?
Do you know what I mean? Just like a lad landed on the street and like wanted to play soccer.
Yeah.
Like a man that 4 lads that walked in.
Yeah, I was just going to say, it's not
Yeah.
the Podge
know what I
boy
mean?
just turned up on his door. Yeah.
And
All
is that
these
exactly
players
what
that
happened?
want to
under their arm.
That's a fact.
They
But
just
like, you're not
arrived
looking
in.
at, you're not looking at history. You're going to and you walk. So this year could be the Pats, their facilities, the team they have,
Yeah.
fantastic. But there's only one or two
Coaches
teams
are,
you're going.
Will,
You know what I mean?
will Pats keep up will they keep up what they're doing, or is this a flash in the pan, Pats?
Don't know. It's a good question. I'll cancel that at the end of next season, can't I?
Because, I mean, what, the first time in, how long since you've won the league?
23 years.
So that's a big milestone, shall we say? And then do you go, we've won it and settle, or do you go, right, like you were saying,
They'll have to add to it.
Well, if
Will
you
they?
look if you look at our last
They'll
3
have to add.
games after we won the league, or 4 games after we won the league, that will be the case because
Right.
we haven't
shook a leg, have
we
you?
haven't let it glove to anyone.
Oh, yeah, okay.
No, we
But-
won games, but
Like Sunday, then you're looking at what's next. Whoever wins it, do they think, right, we've won it, we'll have it, or do you say, well, we've won that one, why can't we?
Yeah.
well, this is
Win the big
the
one.
next question.
I think if Newark wins Sunday, that their hunger to get the league title back will be second to none.
Yeah,
Do you, Papa?
I do, yeah.
I don't think it will.
No, I think it will, yeah.
I'd have to agree with you.
Yeah.
I think
The league is your bread and butter.
the last 2
That's
years.
the best trophy you can win.
Yeah, I think the last 2 years would have bothered them as well that
Yeah.
they haven't won. No matter like even what they're doing now in Leinster, but I think to win that league again and then push on and go for Leinster, maybe FAI.
They will have an outside on the outside, like an eye on the outside competitions, but they will want that league title back.
So are you telling me that if Noah got a chance to give back the last 3 league titles as for Leinster, they'd say no?
No, that's a stupid question, Badge.
How do you look at that, though? That's not fair. That was a very
It's not
articulate
fair.
question.
That's stupid.
I would have a slightly different. I do think they'll be mad to win the league, but I think if whoever wins this one, will be looking at the FAI,
Well,
Yeah, I
want
think
to
so
ask-
too.
and I don't think Newark will. Not that they won't go for the league, they will, but I think the priorities will change if there's a big game, and Evergreen will be the same
Well, even talking to
because
Evergreen,
the
they were
FAI
like,
is the obvious step after.
But if you're
hopefully
if
you
you're
think,
CK United
yeah,
and you're looking to get into a third tier and you're seeing let's be honest, 2 of the top junior teams in the country playing out a Leinster final, surely you're kind of saying, here's our chance, lads. Let's have a conversation we need to have a conversation with, and let's
Yeah.
build something here.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens there in CK, because apparently Buckley Park is done and dusted.
As in, they're not getting it.
No, it's done. They're getting it. It's just at the solicitors. But it's at a long time now. And I hope they do get it, because I'd love to see senior
What do
football
you mean
back.
there? You're not in there.
No, I'm not anymore, no.
You gone?
Yeah. Things. Don't talk about
Go on,
it.
Graham. Go on, Graham.
we had a talk
How
about
long
coming down.
is it take going to develop this place back to
Well,
League of
Graham
Ireland
reckons about 750,000, would it? To get
yeah,
back?
and time wise.
And time.
Are you going to the Sparks on a
Will you do it in a year?
He gone for tender.
The playing surface will be back in a year, all right.
Do you think?
Is there anything on it
No,
now?
not like it was.
Is it a
Oh,
soccer
God,
pitch now?
I don't
It's
even
a-
think so.
it's
No, I think it has been.
It's been maintained, but no
redone.
playing on it.
No,
Never
it's not being
again, say,
maintained.
would it?
A
There's
local
talks of
club
going
in
Astro.
Kilkenny were renting it out and have done their work on it, but
That's
it
more on
is
it, right?
Yeah.
it is 20 years away from what it was.
Yeah.
We played a juvenile
You know, it's
game against
fantastic,
Boers
wasn't
years ago.
Yeah,
Unbelievable.
Booters had it for a while as well.
Boers
Yeah.
School, like it
New
is,
Park
it
had
is
it for a
miles
while.
away, but there's great potential there.
And if they do get that, and they get the third tier, and they get a couple of seasons under the belt, they will then be able to pull out Freebor's Evergreen. Newark, you know.
Yeah. Players to go.
I think it's something you have to be careful of.
I don't think anyone will go. 'Cause
I
don't
think
anyone's
players
interested
will
in
go
it
if the
at all.
price is right.
Yeah.
Money talks, lads.
Does,
And
yeah.
let's be honest, it's League of Ireland football, and Graham, you
Yeah, no, I'd be a bit.
If you're
I
going to do
wouldn't-
National League, you have to be getting paid.
100%. I
well,
know
you have
were-
to be now because there's the rules in now.
There's a lot
Yeah,
more
but
money in
What's the money?
League of Ireland now than
Yeah.
there was.
I was gonna
yeah.
say, what's
when
the money going to be like in the
Graham
third
played,
tier?
say, for example.
But what's the money?
You
Yeah.
don't have to pay money in the
Yeah.
first,
Well, that's
because it's amateur. Like.
But if you want the best players,
yeah.
listen, it's
Well,
2025.
But it
lads.
can't cost them to go to the games, can it?
No,
No.
was it on your podcast? I heard a lad going, or what was between the stripes. So I was talking to one of them, and a guy goes, they were approaching Leinster Senior League players, and they said, or was it David Ford or whoever, I'm getting 100 quid playing down the road. You want
John
to give
Lester,
me 50?
was it?
You want to give me 50?
John Lester.
John
could have
Lester.
been, yeah.
I'm getting 100 quid playing down the road.
Yeah.
I think they're in a different situation, as in
Well, they shouldn't be included in the conversation because they're doing that the last 40 years.
yeah. No, I mean the CK because there's
Oh,
no
it's
one
not about Dublin
close.
clubs.
It's so far. If you want to go play League of Ireland now, where do you go? Like
I
you
honestly
can't
think
go
that
to
to change
Waterford
the
because they're Premier.
What would you call it?
They'd have to come looking for you, and you're
Kilkenny FC,
Wexford is the only one that's close, isn't it?
Ormond United
Wexford,
call it Aston Villa Supporters
Castle.
Association.
Both of us have castles.
But I mean, if something like that, because
Ours is better though.
the Kilkenny lads won't buy into the
Famous for
Carlow side.
Ireland's
The Carlow
longest
lads
room.
won't buy into the Kilkenny side. They won't.
No, I think if it ever, I know we're getting away from what we're here for, but if that entity
blacked out, to be honest,
goes,
no.
it has to be a neutral, bang down the middle League of Ireland entity. No,
I just don't see anything that CK could put together that would actually be better than what New Oak and Evergreen have at the moment.
But that's why I said
the one thing
whoever's
is,
in CK has to recognise that and kind of say, or as I said to you last week, big university there, rumbling, they're going 3rd tier.
yeah,
If they go for that'll blow serious
the
it
wall.
will. You think it
100%.
will, but also if they go, they'll have to do the UCD model where all the players will have to be in there. So that's no benefit to local lads
No,
here.
it's not, no.
You know, the
Younger,
other thing
younger
is
lads
the-
though.
Yeah, but the other thing with CK that they can offer, I think, is
Do you want some more?
the quality.
You all right?
The quality of football, proper linesmen, proper actual games, proper
Pitches.
yeah.
Pitches
You know,
massive,
that is
yeah.
the big thing. And there is that potential that if you're playing for CK and you're playing Shamrock Rovers B, not Shamrock Rovers, let's say, they might, but Athlone Town might, or someone else, or CK will eventually get good enough to step up to the first division.
CJ Brown went from FC Carlow to Athlone after
You know,
a fluke of a game
that-
against one.
And actually got spotted by.
He's in the cup final Saturday night now.
He
with
got
Kilkenny.
spotted by
Thomastown.
Spanish team. And he was going to go and he broke his ankle, didn't he?
El Blindo FC, was it?
Yeah, no, he was actually
Poor old
going on
CJ.
trying to a Spanish team. He played him in a friendly.
Meanies
It's gonna be
FC.
And
sponsored by
he broke
Meanies.
his ankle. He was going somewhere
But-
when he was very young now.
Like,
Was
if
there
you
a
were-
tackle? Going into a tackle.
But if you were
Jesus Christ.
CK or whatever you were going to call him, or if you were, I'll tell you one thing, if you were Stephen Elliott, I'd be going to Bunclody
Oh, 110%.
from Wexford, and I'd be looking at Trennan,
But someone
and
has
I'd
the
be
benefit
looking
of it
at
though, Graham.
Dean, and I'd be looking at Lee Delaney. Now, none of them will go,
What do I have to do to
but
get
there
these
I'd
lads?
be saying to myself, what do I need to do to get the three of them in?
And Wexford have money now at the moment.
Because if the three of them
They
went
do.
into the Wexford side that's there now, they'd get promoted.
Going well, Wexford now, right?
yeah.
They clearly have the ability to play at that
Massive.
Oh,
level
they have,
and
yeah.
higher.
Yeah.
I'd have.
Massively higher. Way
They
higher.
actually play, and no disrespect to the two teams, as when we were, Freebooters were winning Leinster Juniors, and you 3 in whatever, 10 years or whatever it was, you wouldn't take either of these teams lightly. You know, any team that Freebooters come out with saying, geez, we're playing this New Oak team, this is going to be tough. You're going to play the Evergreen, that's going to be tough. But if you go up to, say, First Division Wexford, they are playing with fitter, more technical players than they're even playing with now. And the likes of Dean and Mikey and Lee will actually play better. I think Lee should have went years ago, he could have done a league race. He could have done a league race years ago and
He's
got to
every
one of
bit
the
as
top
good.
teams. One of the
Every
top
bit
teams.
as good.
We all know Mikey had oodles of ability. And I hate saying this that had as well. But times were different. Coming off a building site, getting into a car, going up the country to training. Wasn't feasible for him, but he was good enough. There's no doubt about it. And things are that the level of coaching, this is the thing. What you're going into.
That's the first one.
You know,
That's the first time, yeah.
little things like it's not you're driving to training. It's
actually
not
filmed.
your diesel. They give you food for diesel.
Of course, yeah.
That's a big thing.
That's on video,
Strapless for your
I'd say,
ankles.
yeah.
I've seen it. It's on YouTube.
A bit of food after the game. You know, these are the little things that make a lad feel special. They're the little things. Then
Clubs
you're
are doing
going-
that though, Dave.
What?
Clubs are doing that.
They're doing that now, yeah.
Some lads genuinely don't want to travel on it.
No, they don't. No.
Well, that's the thing with you're saying Mikey and Dean and all these
Sent-
lads.
sent
but
in by Paddy.
They've tried League of Ireland. They've tried this, that, everything. Like, what would entice them to go back to it? Like, they obviously seem to be in a place now where they're happy to play what they're doing.
They're enjoying their soccer,
Yeah.
ain't they?
Exactly, yeah.
And they're
That's-
comfortable as well.
They see what, like, you know, they've
That's
all
a
been
picture.
through enough
Yeah.
and been around enough to know
Yeah.
enjoying it is what
Martin
it's
Comfort
actually
there in the corner,
all
right?
about.
I do think it's about luck.
Yeah.
Like, I do think, as in if, not luck, but because they're all talented, but what I mean is if
Just the
if
breaks,
Dean
yeah.
went in and went into a group that he enjoyed, it's a totally different. Then you don't mind the travelling because you're off every Saturday, Sunday.
But it's
Yeah.
a,
You know,
it's a
it's-
comfortability
it's-
thing. It's
it
like
is,
it's like
look,
the
it's
argument
massive.
we had. We're currently having here, not an argument, but the points have been made where inter-county footballers are now saying, "Nah, I'm playing soccer, lads. I can
too
go for a
much."
meal of a Saturday night. I can enjoy a pint, and I don't feel like that. I'm affecting my performance.
Yeah.
different
we were
gravy,
watching
like.
something on Saturday. There was what game was on? Was it Gaelic football on?
Yeah.
Crowd in the
I
stands were
said it to him,
shocking.
Armagh and
There was nobody there.
Donegal.
yeah,
Do you
but
know
no,
there
not
was
that.
no-
Sorry, the one before it. Who was the hurling?
was the Leinster
Wexford
final, I
and-
think.
Leinster final,
Yeah.
Loud and
Loud and
Mayo.
Yeah,
was it?
you're-
Lead.
you're-
Ah,
And
Croke
no-
Park was bouncing for that.
Wexford and Galway.
Wexford and Galway. The
There's
crowd ad
our
was
guy
horrendous.
correspondent dropping the
Crowd ad was awful. But look, that's like I'm just saying. If you were looking for it's a game, you'd go and you're looking in.
Sure.
You could pick out. Now we just named the 3 boys, but you could pick out
There's more.
5 or 6 lads to say.
I can tell you,
Jesus.
But sure, Keane, Bray played in New York.
Yeah.
And Keane Dowling never gave the winger for Bray a kick of the ball.
like you tell me, Fester's not going to upset somebody in a League of Ireland team. He's an ignorant runner. He just runs and hops off lads and does what he
play.
does and can play. And you'll be going, would you want that? Would I want to be facing him? No. Would you really? Would you like to be an average number 9 in the first division and just say a Dots you're that behind him or lead a Laney behind you and you turn the next and have the ball gone? They drive you fucking insane.
Yeah.
Well,
They drive you
any
insane.
average player in this field on Sunday will be found out.
Oh yeah, you
Yeah.
can't be average.
But there'll be no,
matter who you
listen,
play for.
there'll be no average player playing
No,
on Sunday.
there'll be none.
There's no average player on either squad, never mind first 11. Like, an average team doesn't get to a Leinster final. Do you know what I mean?
I don't.
No, lads will probably say they do, but I don't
No,
think they do.
no. To
You
get
know.
to the final, you don't. No.
Well, if they do, they get found out fairly.
Yeah, that's what I
fairly
mean. But
quickly.
there's no team that's there that you're kind of going, I say they're happy just to be there kind of thing.
No, they're not.
Both teams
want to win, don't
yeah,
they?
Yeah.
And they're,
100%.
they're good enough to win as well.
There was a club a couple of years ago. They got 9 home draws. Some of them were into the blind school, and they won 9 games in a row. And then they got to the quarter final. I think they're about 11.
Oh, that
nil.
was in the FAI Junior.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you're talking
They just
about.
got this
It was
run.
5 or 6 years ago, just after COVID there, wasn't it? Yeah.
Just got this run that you could dream of.
Yeah, and we're back. Just a little part 2. We had to stop there, Papa.
You were overeating, were you, Pod?
Damien threw a punch at Davy there, and I thought I was getting missed. We had to pull the plug a little.
Like his penalties, he missed me from close range.
Oh, jeez.
Are penalties there for close range? Yeah.
Absolutely brutal, aren't they?
Well, we haven't got time to take another break now.
No.
I won't miss.
The last 20 minutes we probably wandered off the actual topic, right?
Right.
So, Papa, where do you see Noak being strong or could potentially be the difference to go over the line?
Well, they're mentally strong after suffering heartbreak in the semi-final last year. They're disciplined better. They have a better squad. I think things happen for a reason. Lee Walker should be in with the county playing Talton Cup on Sunday, but he's playing Leinster Junior Cup final instead because the football didn't work out for him. Because of the manager, and he hasn't been asked back in by the current manager.
There's another individual on that thing is the same thing.
Yeah, they have a super goalkeeper. They have a backup centre half, who's a proper centre half, so that leaves the 2 fullbacks as backup. I think Luke will start, and I think Dickie will obviously start.
Yeah. I think he's a fine player, isn't he?
James McGrath was with us last year. He's gone back to New York. He's a super talent, and they have a close link 3. That 3 midfield 3 is class. The pressure from Rye, what he'll do running wise against a really good left full, it will be a really good battle. And how Jordan influences the game is so important because he's not a natural striker. They'll rotate that position many times.
They do that well,
throughout
though.
they do it brilliantly, and they can say they don't have a natural striker. No, they don't have a natural striker. Jamie Murphy would be the most natural striker say they have.
Yeah.
I don't think Jamie will start,
Right.
but I think that it's like a midfield 4 rather. It's a box 4 really, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's
then you have the other boy.
that's what they do, and it's
But this thing about not having a natural striker, if you're not scoring goals as well, it hurts you. But New York score goals.
I said it last week.
but they don't have a natural striker, but the amount of goals they score,
Yeah.
and they have a great ability to go up a gear when they go a goal behind,
Yeah. Okay.
and it's a serious failure. I think
that they're going to need that
yeah.
because I think that they possibly could go goal behind.
I think in general play, from a patterns perspective, and if you looked at the 2 teams and how they play, Noak can, and you mentioned it before, Evergreen can go along, so can Noak.
Yeah.
Like Noak have that pattern of the inside wingers and fullbacks arriving late and
Yeah.
the diags, and it's lovely. But they can also go straight into Dean, into a 10, dribble in. Do you know? Like, I don't know.
Skinner's diag pass is class.
Yeah. He loves it too.
Yeah, he's very good at it.
Yeah, he is. He loves it.
But
Yeah.
there's a couple of players on either side
Do you think?
that can go after discipline wise.
I think Skinner coming down here the last 2 years has been good for him.
Okay.
I think he was very erratic up in Kilkenny. He got sent off, could get under his skin very easily. I think coming down here has been very good.
It was Canis he was it?
Canis is, and he was.
He was with Evergreen as well.
Wexford.
before that. He was with Wexford.
Youth, yeah.
The thing I have is for Evergreen up front, if they have 2 match winners starting, and if they don't work, the 2 to bring on can win you a match.
Yeah.
I think that's a great thing to have. They're not looking to the line hoping for goals. They know they can switch it completely, and the 2 coming on know what they're doing and can get you goals to win it as well. I think there's a big
you walk off a
problem
couple
there.
of players that can come off the bench where different than the players that's on the field.
Yeah.
Like, young Josh Brady can come on there now.
Chris
and
Blake.
He's a bag of tricks.
Yeah.
An absolute bag of tricks. He can turn you inside
Coach
out.
them, bud.
Chris Blake would be a natural centre forward. If
Yeah.
one of the midfield, that box four is not working, they can go up top. Like, they've enough options to go 3 at the back. Both teams do as well. Like, but it's a hard one to call. It's going to be a fantastic game.
It is. I think it's going to be. Do you know what? It'll probably do the Leinster Junior Cup justice. To be honest with you. I don't know if the two boys beside me have to say because.
Damien, who needs it more? Who are they, bud? They're not playing.
Yeah, I was just thinking as you were having a podcast yourselves there. But I think as a betting man going on it, without betting with your heart, it's very hard to pick a winner between both teams. I think it's probably one of the most even finals.
There's no doubt about that.
Yeah, you know that. I think I'm delighted I'm a neutral in it, as in the game wise or team wise. That I'm like really looking forward to, hoping that the missus will let me go on Sunday. That's kind of.
If you had to pick a winner, though,
I'd go Evergreen on penalties.
that's something we haven't talked about,
I
Graham.
would just.
But who needs it, Graham?
Well,
Just that was the question that asked Damien.
I think everyone do. I think they do, because it's been a long journey for him, and I know the walk are on one as well, but it's been a long one for Evergreen trying to get there. But I just think that the control that they have is, it's not that, it's just like they can strangle the life out of a team, and it's whether the walk can get out of that little stranglehold. That would be my fear for the walk.
Yeah.
Like, Evergreen can play a game and make it look almost pedestrian. Stop everyone and they're just doing their thing, and next thing, bang, there's a goal. And if Evergreen get ahead, I think they win it. If it goes the other way and Evergreen have to come out of their shell and go chasing it, it can play out different. But I think Evergreen need to win it, and if you're asking me who I think will win it, I find it hard to see Evergreen losing.
But I think what you said there about them strangling the life out of teams, I think that has shown in the last couple of rounds that they've played. Lads have got ratty against them because they're getting frustrated. They're kicking out. They're stuff like this. Like
Teams against them, playing against them.
Yeah. And I know it's
the retention of the ball.
probably just getting annoyed with them. Like,
It's
closing channels.
But is that not down to the management to say, well, just let them have it there, lads?
Yeah.
Let's wait to kick it in
But
top of us.
that's what I mean. Like, that's going to be the difference in Sunday. Is Newark have been there. They've probably got ratty with teams before and got their sending offs in previous years, but
It's cost them.
Yeah, exactly, and they've learned from it now. So they're,
it's what happened to us in 2008. It was a nice flowing game for the first 15, Graham, was it? And then
your man was sent off.
Your man got sent off in the middle of the park, and Cherry Archer just sat back.
Yeah.
Enda Stevens caught us twice in the break, and in fairness, only for your man in the goal, we were 2-0 down. And Enda went off to Ireland the next day and ended up where he ended up.
Yeah.
But they just sat in, and the thing was, at that time, we were a couple of years in it that we had the boys, look, just keep going. Where I would think if I had been in charge a couple of years earlier, I probably would have got frustrated.
The thing with it is, Evergreen don't just sit in though.
No.
They're constantly poking and probing, and that's where the frustration. Like, I know Skinner, he made his Wexford debut with me in Cork, and Skinner is like, he's on the ball, he's brilliant, but he has that switch that can just, I'm going to take a chance on this, or I'm going to, and that's what they want. They'll pop
try and bring it to the edge,
and
right?
pop and probe, and next
but Evergreen are not bulletproof, are they?
No.
Like, they have to have weaknesses too.
They have weaknesses. They have.
There's not many weaknesses in either team now, being honest.
No.
Now, what would you think of the penalty shootout? Why are you reckoning there?
I think I'll give you a prediction, but it involves a penalty shoot. I think whoever scores the most goals will win the game.
Alright, Michael Owen.
So let's know that one, bud.
And whoever scores first will be in the lead, is that it? Yeah. That who scores first is in the lead.
Whoever captain lifts the trophy, their team will win it.
Yeah.
I know. I think that it's. I was thinking about it earlier. I was thinking it's going to be a game of chess, right? But I think it's going to be frantic. I think it has to be frantic for a walk. If Evergreen are that good in possession, for me it's probably a full press, forcing the break lines.
Do you see Newark as good at possession?
Yeah, no, excellent possession.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
So comfortable going back as they are going forward.
Like the day against Craic Yard, in fairness, they bossed the possession after 15, 20
That's
minutes.
where the pitch will dictate as well.
I'd be worried about how good
I'm
the pitch
delighted
is
it's
going
on
to be.
grass.
Yeah, so am I.
I'm delighted it's on grass.
Do you know what it is? It's a very heavy pitch.
Yeah,
It is a heavy pitch, Poppa.
It's I was looking at the one we were on, and they're obviously in the same condition. It was patchy, you know. It wasn't.
It's the
wasn't
weather as
lush,
well.
like.
So like possession is the big thing, because if it is the 24 degrees,
You'd rather
on
have it
the
than
pitch,
chase it.
yeah. If you're chasing
Man
the
are
ball a
the
lot,
Chinese here. Look.
you're in trouble.
I'm actually
You know,
saving you again.
I do.
What do I do now?
I think it'll be a brilliant final.
Yeah.
I think it'll be one
But
of
it
the
is
best finals.
very, very level, isn't it?
Oh yeah, no look, I'll always we're coming from from not the Evergreen side, but Kilkenny
Kilkenny
side,
side, yeah.
and we would see Evergreen way more. You know, we'd see clips of Milwaukee, or if I'm I travel with David and I'm on his young lad, so I hear a lot about the games.
Yeah.
But I don't see it. You know, so that's why I'd be leaning towards Evergreen, and it is only leaning, even though I think you're only leaning. You're not saying Evergreen are going to go and win it by.
If one team is thumped, it's an absolute shock.
I would be shocked.
Yeah.
I
I was
would
just
be
going to ask
shocked.
that.
But do you know what is? It can easily fucking happen as well. Do you know
Yeah,
what I
like-
mean?
Say
Well, cup finals are for winning.
They are,
That's
yeah.
the thing.
the under 12, under 14 cup final at the weekend.
No relevance at all.
The
But
young
anyway,
lad
go on.
got an unbelievable goal, a world goal in the first half, and then they just held out and got over the line. You know,
Yeah.
so you have to take your chance, but both teams on Sunday are going to have to defend.
That's a common team in cup finals, though.
You're going to have to defend for your
I
life.
think both benches are so important Sunday with the weather that they're given.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And listen,
gonna
do you know
be a
what's going to
warm
be a
day,
big
man.
thing now?
Half 2 today.
What's the
water
momentum
breaks.
like when they call the water breaks? When they call the water breaks, like
Just
Yeah.
thinking that.
you know, if a team is in the ascendancy and all of a sudden, hang on, stop, let's get a team might get a break. You know, there's so
you have
many
to-
variables in it. Like
Do you have to agree to that, or can that be? Is that be?
No, I think referee makes a decision on it, is it?
Well, referee, we had played a Cricket Yard on Friday
Damien,
night in 35.
are you interested or?
he's getting me out. of
Referee
trouble.
asked us to on the water break before a ball is kicked.
Okay.
So I don't know whether it's a rule.
Oh, right. Oh, they asked you to pop.
Well, the referee did ask us, yeah. We just said, well, it's
Yeah.
35, so I said, yeah. But in
As
that
many as
game,
possible.
yeah, but in that game,
that-
if you want
yeah.
momentum, you don't want to break.
Can I
do
get
you?
an
don't
IV
want to
break?
No, you don't want to
Where's
break
the
at all. And the ref is going to have a big.
Oh yeah.
Who's the ref, lads?
I don't know. I'm presuming
It's
it's Wexford.
outside.
You'd imagine.
You'd
if
imagine
it's
so,
Carlow,
yeah.
Kilkenny, you wouldn't
Any
know.
idea them
But
on the
if
rest,
they
no?
let the
I'll
game
check it there now,
flow, if they let the game flow, I think it'll be brilliant. But if they get nitpicky at the start, it
Yeah.
can.
Do you know what it is? If it's the referee's first big game,
Yeah.
it
This is a
could,
big thing.
It
Yeah.
could be.
Like you're talking
stop
of League of
start.
Ireland grounds. This should be. I don't
100%.
mean new lads going into League. This should be First Division League of Ireland
100%.
officials.
Yeah.
At least.
Yeah.
Why
At
not?
least.
Why not put this in the Aviva anyway?
Why not?
Or Tala.
Or Tala?
No referees on the jet. No.
Fixture isn't even on the Kilkenny website.
I'll check it.
They're waiting for Connect.
I'll check it, Papa. Can you take next 5 minutes? You won't mess it up, right? Please.
Oh, God.
Fuck me.
No, but it's look. I do think the refs will have a big bearing on it, because like if it does get tasty,
Like you know.
There's both players. There's players on both sides. Like I said, you can go after
Yeah.
discipline wise
Yeah.
and ability wise.
yeah,
Like
Local refs, not
you're,
named.
if you're getting a chance to Glatardino
yeah,
or Mikey,
have to
you're
Glatardino.
going to do it as best you can.
But you're-
Because if they're not on the field, other teams are weaker, aren't they?
Yeah.
But it's not the approach, though.
No,
Papa.
it's not the
If-
approach.
listen,
But
if
Podge-
Evergreen-
oh,
if
it's an
they're-
normal
but there's-
approach.
no, no,
Podge,
if
there's
the
players in
Evergreen
the team that's
manager-
going to do that.
If Evergreen manager is in the fucking dressing room in a Leinster final day and telling someone, make
No.
sure you go clatter him.
but I don't think it'll be the managers. I think if me and Popper are playing together for Milwaukee, they're struggling first of all, right? If we're playing in the midfield, but if we're playing and we
35.
know
Wow.
and we know that Dean Kelly or Mikey Drennan, we're talking to each other and say, listen, first chance we get. Let
Oh,
him
yeah,
know he's in a
absolutely,
game. Now, I
absolutely.
don't mean half him or.
No,
but
no,
if
no.
it's a good hard challenge and
Don't-
the ref
don't.
lets it go, then
Yeah.
the game is off.
Yeah, yeah,
but if
yeah.
that happens and the ref goes,
It's the first incident that
yellow
set the tone
card.
for the game.
Zone,
It's
Do
exactly.
you all think, and it's the first incident and how the referee deals with it.
yeah, that's the
He
big
lets it
thing.
go.
Like.
But what I'm going to say, do you actually
Jimmy
think he'll
Nurnberry
go?
special bite. You never get booked for the first one.
Yeah. Do you think he'll go extra time?
Yeah. My prediction is no walk on penalties.
I don't think I will.
What's your prediction, Paul?
2-1, you walk.
Who scores?
Lee Walker. And I think Jordan Harmer's going to do something special.
How good is Jordan Harm?
Very good.
Technically as good as anybody.
He's
Yeah.
very
In the league.
underrated.
Very
Honest to God.
underrated.
Well, then
I
anyone
actually-
in the team with Dean gets on.
I actually seen a comment today on one of our socials saying Jordan Hammerling into your team of the year. That's how good a Carlow League is.
Yeah, he's brilliant.
But you don't hear much.
He's really, really good.
You don't hear much about him as much as you should.
You have to.
He's,
know what I mean?
he's
You have to see him pop it, don't you? You
his
have to
mark,
look
his
at
mark against him is that he doesn't pick up
so
enough
much,
goals.
Yeah.
For that in that New York team. Like it's Lee, it's Dino obviously.
Yeah.
Davy picks up a few goals. Blake's after getting a few goals. He plays a lot of game time, but maybe doesn't pick up enough goals. He'll probably tell you that himself.
Yeah, but probably
on the ball he will back himself against
Firmino
anybody.
But his teammates
Yeah,
probably
it probably
appreciate
is,
it more than
that's-
anybody else.
Oh, they
yeah.
do. They know
Yeah.
how good he is.
Yeah.
His first touch
But
is there.
there's a few in Evergreen like that, Ethan and Iffy. They do an awful lot of work, don't they? And they pick up a few goals, but I think they're well respected by their teammates as well, aren't they?
Oh, definitely. Sure, they're all well
Do you think-
respected among each other and the league.
Do you think either team has a switch that if they make it will cost them?
I
Has
think-
have New Walk a weak link on the bench that have to bring him on, it could cost them?
No.
There's no weak link there.
No. Well, it like you could bring on your sub winger or centre half. That might cost you.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I don't think there'll be massive changes.
No.
I don't think there'll be a whole lot.
No, unless there's injuries or something silly happens to the card and you have to maybe change your shape around. But I think in finals like that,
I think if New York are losing, they'll have to bring on Blake, who's a natural centre forward,
yeah.
which they don't have.
With
I don't think he'll start.
Yeah.
Will that upset their flow though?
It's a completely different player than Jordan.
Probably gives him off
But
the
he's
shoulder,
fit.
Papa,
He's
does
a
it?
big lad, yeah. He can play on the
Yeah,
shoulder,
but-
and he's in, he's gone.
They seem to change around a lot week to week.
Well, they beat
as
us- they beat us
in the
last
league
weekend.
and stuff like that. And
And Dino didn't play.
No.
yeah.
He didn't play Wednesday against Collection in the semi-final of the cup.
But I mean,
He
a lot,
started.
a lot of these players are
That was another off again.
playing together.
Yeah.
They're getting time together. They know, as you
Yeah.
said, if it changes and Blake comes in, lads know what they're getting from Blake. It's the same with Evergreen. If Grinny comes in, lads know what kind of game he's going to play. If Andrew Wall comes in, what way he's going to play. Are they coming to feet? Are they going in behind? Is it the ball across the box? What is
It's
it?
like Lee Walker is the one winger out of the two wingers, say, of him and Roy, who can do with the ball at his feet or running behind.
Yeah.
He can press the fullback.
Or go inside.
Right? Rayburn wouldn't be as good with the ball at his feet, but what a man to travel the ground.
Right,
Right?
okay.
Then if one of them gets injured, to bring on a Josh Brady, he makes himself dizzy. He's that good with the ball at his feet. Honest to God, he's crazy with the ball at his feet.
Well,
But they have. It's,
Do you think it's a case of
David Keaton comes in?
Good player, huh?
Yeah,
He's
he's
very
underrated
underrated.
because the two centre halves are so good.
like could you see a situation, lads, on our side where you'd have Grinny, Mikey, Decky, and Andrew on at the same time?
Mikey, or Decky McQuillan is underrated as well.
Yeah, very underrated.
Do you
Very
think
underrated.
you think them four
He's
will be on the
very
pitch
good,
at one
like,
time?
No.
No.
Andrew
Just
Wall
thinking
and
that.
Grinny won't start.
I don't think the middle three that starts from New York will finish the game.
Right, okay.
I think it's exactly what you said earlier as well. That Eat Sunday,
Yeah.
if it is what it is.
Someone
is
will blow a gas
going
after
to-
20
yeah,
minutes.
exactly.
Yeah.
It's going
Yeah.
to
And
make the
it'll affect him in
difference.
the second half and make a him out there.
What's going to happen with Andrew Wall, if it goes 70 minutes and they're looking for winner, Andrew Wall and Grinny will come on. Andrew will start pinning centre halves, start fighting with him, wrestling him, and he's very underrated on how good he is with the ball at his feet. He's good at rolling the centre half to slip a ball for somebody else. And Grinson will just find a pocket of space, won't want to run 100 metres, and he'll find a pocket of space, speed a spot and put it away. He's probably as Graham, when he was a schoolboy, he was as good as you ever saw.
Oh, he's a brilliant finisher.
You know,
and he's
so-
brilliant. Grinny is just look. He's at the stage of his career now where that's his job now, coming
Yeah.
in for that 20 minutes. And I know no one wants to hear that, like, but
But it's just a
it's a
reality
running
for everyone.
joke that he's actually 53 now.
Yeah. I thought he was 72.
54,
54.
sorry.
But,
I think
but he
the
is
birthday
quality.
there last week.
And it's
You
the
know.
thing like you're saying about if somebody sees, just say Mikey and Decky go off, just saying, I'm not saying that'll happen, but just say they go off, and Andrew and Grinny come on, they're saying, look, we can relax a little bit here. You bloody can't, like.
Yeah, well, like,
And they will find a gap.
Well, it's a big feather in the Walk's hat this year, the fact that because the last 3 years you could nearly guess their 11 every week.
yeah.
This year, Gavin has done serious rotation because he's added that bit of depth. Davy going in there in January, Lee Walker coming back, like Darrell Coleman's on the bench. We haven't mentioned Kyle Foley.
Phil Foley
No,
could
they're
play.
good player, like,
yeah,
you know,
both full-back rows,
you
centre half or
mentioned, we
midfield.
haven't mentioned Dylan Kitely, Lee Keaton. Like all these lads might not start, but the depth they have coming off.
It's always
You
up
know.
top end, though, is it? The rotation. Evergreen wouldn't rotate at the back as much, would they? Unless it's
David
sometimes-
Keaton- David Keaton
plays
sometimes
centre-
starts in the
centre
6.
half.
Adrian Clear played most of the
Lee
most of
Murphy,
the
haven't
season
mentioned
centre
Lee
half.
Murphy.
And Sam
And Lee
Johnson's
Youngler's a
in
good
now.
player.
But
That
Jamie's very good, yeah.
Lee being injured a good bit, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
Like how
well,
good Lee was very
yeah.
good younger, wasn't he?
Excellent.
Lee is the best player, in my opinion, to ever play in Carlow.
Lee
Would you say
Murphy.
he's better
Yeah.
than Dean.
over
He's
his
not
career,
Podge.
like.
He's not Podge. That's it. Just call a spade a spade. Take off your friend hat.
Yeah. Fair point.
and-
Well, Lee Murphy's a class player. Don't get me wrong.
Lee,
Played
Lee,
against-
if you're the Mount Rushmore of junior soccer players, and Carlow, Lee Murphy's in it.
There's
Right,
Mount
okay,
Rushmore.
that's fair statement.
There's only 4 on
Dean
Mount
Kelly's the best
Rushmore
player
now.
Carlow's ever seen, bar none.
I'll
End
tell
of
you one
story.
thing.
Conversation's
You wouldn't even
over.
make Mount Leinster, my Mount Rushmore.
I went
Where
up with
you
the other
are?
day, I was great.
Who would make the bit?
She told me the best coach of all time.
Come on. Come at me now.
Yeah, so it's going to be very
That's
interesting.
how he plays though. With Dean, like it is. He's,
And
it's-
No,
Like,
you're
it's,
spot on. Yeah,
Like that against, like,
Yeah,
they'll talk about
you've
Christy
seen it.
Sullivan's
And,
and
Chris Sullivan, what a player, yeah.
the Pats
Dead.
back in the.
your brother tell you about him.
Oh,
Great friend of him.
tried
Davy Doyle.
18 times to get him back.
I would
Like,
have. What about
Budsy Marr.
What about that Pats team back in the? Would Dean would walk into all these teams?
Oh,
There's
yeah.
no team he
No,
can't
oh,
get
yeah.
into.
Okay.
Like Ross Townsend, I always
And
liked
be
watching
outstanding in
play.
any team.
Yeah.
Ross was a fine player, long hair, always liked watching him play.
Totty.
There was a player up in Kilkenny that I would liken to him who was
Scotchy,
out in Thomastown. Very similar type of player and kind of elegant on the ball, shall we say.
Yeah.
I always thought Ross was a great
You
player.
refused to go on a podcast, you know. Ross
Did he?
Yep.
Yeah. Why Ross?
Yeah, why, Ross? Tell me why.
Yeah, he's a lad.
Bill
I
Cavan's
loved
still.
him. But Drennan, I would say, is similar
Yeah.
stature that way in Kilkenny, like
Yeah.
talent wise. Yeah,
He's bundles of it, hasn't
yeah.
he?
Yeah, I don't think he's even reached his peak.
Not the same
Dino.
player.
No, I
as
don't
in
think he like.
athleticism and
As Dino.
I don't think so. He's
No.
a different type of player, but
Like-
talent wise,
Like Mikey
So
went into
good at
Shamrock
finding-
Rovers and I think he scored 6 in a
The
row.
10
Yeah,
yards,
that's
that's
right.
free.
Yeah.
You know.
And getting in the turn, I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, I'm in trouble here. Can't let him
Yeah.
turn. Because he
Like-
picks the pass or scores the goal.
the goal in the semi final, people talk about and saying where was the left full? The left full was Ian Birmingham, right? Who's now he's old, but
Yeah.
he knows what he's doing. Like,
Yeah.
but Mikey,
Do you know the
Mikey could
difference
have been in the park on his
difference-
own.
Yeah, the difference
Yeah,
in
yeah.
Mikey.
Oh,
in Birmingham.
no.
The difference in Mikey and Dean is that they get the ball in certain areas when it's like they're going to damage the team.
Yes.
And they'll play a little 1-2 into the forward. And sometimes they'll go. But the only when they go is when the midfielder takes his eye off and that's supposed to be marking. He looks
Correct.
this way, they are gone.
Gone, yeah.
And you can't catch them then. Because
No,
the run
no.
is that good.
No,
And
that-
that's the
no.
difference in Mikey and Dean to any other player in the field from both teams.
And to be honest,
That's what I think.
the next
show.
couple, if Evergreen win this, I think the next couple of years, Mikey Drennan will show how good he is in junior football.
Well, you talk about making runs and this and that and everything. I don't think there's anyone striker-wise in either team as good as Grinny. Because Grinny
in the
hasn't
centre forward,
started.
yeah.
He won't start, will he?
He's not.
No.
I wouldn't say he'd start.
I'd be
He hasn't
surprised.
started a lot of their games, but he's their top scorer.
Why is he not
Big.
starting games? This is
That's too old.
For 54.
54.
And that's all it is. Like,
He'd
55 at the end of May.
Hips are
struggle
killing all
on
the money he brings around.
yeah, he'd struggle on the Astros. You know, the ground
Yeah.
and Grinny's been playing
How long,
high level football.
game-wise, how
since-
long will he get Sunday?
Grinny?
Will he play the last half hour?
No,
Yeah.
depending on the
I
score.
don't, I don't think so. 20
If it's a
minutes.
tight game with 20 minutes to go, he's
Yes.
coming off the
He
bench.
might come
Yeah,
on the off the bench.
definitely,
If
20
you walk
minutes
or
ago.
2-0 up at half time, is he on at half time?
No,
No, I think Andrew comes on before
Andrew comes on
him
first.
with energy and everything to all that, and I think Grinny comes on and finishes you off. Not saying he'll do that to New Oak.
Yeah.
I'm saying in general as a
That's the
that
pattern,
would be
right?
my
Yeah,
thinking
yeah.
of watching.
I don't think if New Oak go 2-0 up in 20 minutes, Evergreen massively change that.
I think
They
New
will
Walker, I think
keep-
New Walker are the very same.
Well, I noticed that when we played Kilkenny in the Oscars.
There's no,
You know, I noticed that we went up and I'm thinking, this lad hasn't come after us here.
they'll keep
They just kept trying to do the same
plodding
thing.
and popping and
Yeah.
trying to open it up, and you know, it's patterns. They play patterns the whole time,
And then you're hoping,
and they have that quality.
you're hoping
Yeah.
then that maybe you go to the subs and it's 0-0, and maybe somebody that doesn't produce a bit of magic, maybe it's going to be there. Maybe it's going to be something.
Yeah.
You know, some lad that comes in and goes, look, we just need you to close out, and the ball drops and he puts it in the top
I'd
bin.
be shocked if there's loads of goals in it, lads.
Yeah.
I think they're
I
both set
don't
up.
think-
I think there's potential for it to could be
No,
up
I don't think there
with
is.
the players on the field.
I
No,
think they
I
all have a they all
I
have
think you're right.
that
It's going to be a
bit in
2-1,
them,
but
like-
I think
I
it's
think
going
it'll
to
be cagey.
Yeah.
It'll take a mistake for a goal in the first half.
Do you don't think it's going to be
Or a
100 mile an
set
hour?
piece. I think it'll be
What are you doing if you're the manager in New Walk? How are you approaching this?
play to your strengths. Like
Terrible
getting
answer.
back- What do you mean?
How are you approaching? Everyone plays to their strengths, man.
No, but no.
How
hold on
are you,
for a
like,
second.
what are you doing? Are you going after it? Are you sitting in? Are you low, mid? Like, what are you doing?
There's,
sure,
there's
the
a better
first-
question. What would you do if you were the Evergreen manager?
Don't turn up.
Against, no, but what would you do? What would you do against the Walk?
What would I
What
do?
would you do against the Walk?
Drop off, let him have it, and make him kick it to us.
Would you?
Yeah,
No.
I wouldn't go chase them.
And see, that's
I
the
think
thing.
I think you want your walk facing their own goal.
That's the thing with Evergreen. That's what they're real. They have
and I think
that
Evergreen are the same.
5-a-side, 6-a-side mentality of, as Graham said earlier, they wait for that one player to pull out of that gap.
They wait for the break in the chain,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
So unless I'm looking at that, I'm no Oaks manager. I'm looking at that and I'm saying to myself, unless they have an unbelievable rotation, right, where their midfield three are rotating constantly from a 6 to an 8 to a 10, you could be in trouble then, right? Because that's hard to do. If they're 40 yards, 50 yards away up and going, they're playing little passes, let them have it.
Yeah, I'd understand that, yeah.
But I would. But I'll go back to my first point. I would genuinely go after them for the first 10 or 15 minutes. I would try and force them back, and once the keeper has it, retreat.
The last thing, if I was manager of either team, the last thing I'd want is
There wouldn't be in the Leinster final.
30. We got there before, wouldn't it?
Touche.
Last thing I would want was, say, Evergreen's Mikey Drennan or Decky McQuillan, 25 yards out, getting the ball in space and looking at your goal. And the same at the other end, Jordan and Dino, 20, 25 yards from goal and looking at your goal, because what about them, especially Mikey and Dino, they're lads that I liken to Ollie Welch. They aim. You know, some lads just take a shot. These lads look, oh, I'm putting it there.
Yeah.
And they put it where they're looking.
Precision, yeah.
So you can't. I don't think you can give either of them a half a second.
I think both goalkeepers know that as well.
Yeah.
If you're playing against, you're facing Dean, this is hitting the target here.
You have to be on your toes straight away.
Or you don't know what's coming from some other players.
Yeah, you don't know.
They might bury in the top corner.
They might hit the cat.
But he's hurting you every single time.
Every time, yeah.
He's working you anyway.
Yeah.
Worst case scenario.
He's hitting the target.
And this
I think players feed on that as well. Like, if you're a really good striker, like
You
Grinny
know,
comes off the
yeah.
bench. If Mikey picks up a room with 25 yards to go on his shot, Grinny's on the move already.
You'll
So is Andy Wall.
You'll see it when he comes on, Grinny.
Yeah.
If Mikey is on the pitch, there's no thinking of it even. Mikey gets the ball. The movement is
Well,
there.
even that's where the goal came from. The ball actually came to Grinny, and Grinny played it into Mikey.
Just played it without
The
even a
semi-final.
thought. Yeah.
That goal was all about the pass, by the way.
Yeah, that was Grinny's
and
pass.
It didn't cost him
of
a
all
ton,
the
like, it just
super
gave him
little
took it in,
Yeah.
turn, bang.
They know where each other are, don't
Yeah.
they?
take Grinny, Andrew Wall, say Mikey, Harmon, and Dino out of it. Who wins it then?
I tell you now. No, I'm telling you, Lee Delaney.
Yeah.
He won the
It's a great
quarterfinals,
question.
wasn't
It's a great question, boy.
Seriously, think on set pieces. He is a game changer.
Can you see? Can
in
you
both
see?
boxes.
For me,
Can you
Lee
see
Walker.
Dickie
wins
Black
it.
Hole?
Is
Lee
that
Walker,
good?
Lee
yeah.
Walker wins it for me.
Keane
Yeah.
Cleary, lads.
Yeah.
Don't sleep on Keane Cleary.
How highly do you rate Lee Walker?
I'm sure he spent most of the winter up in the mountains chasing deer and all. He's after getting more hardship than anything. That lads don't know about the hardship that he can give you as well. I tell you,
Yeah.
Lee, you know that well.
What's your prediction, Graham?
I think Evergreen will win it 2-0,
Your Evergreen
and I
and
think
Pens.
it'll be late.
I think if it goes to penalties, I don't think it'll go to penalties.
Okay.
I think it'll be an extra time 1-0, and I think it'll Evergreen 1-0 in extra time.
Hit me, Demo.
I think Evergreen on penalties. I think 1-1 during the game, and I'll go Evergreen 3-2 on penalties.
So, and you're no walk 2-1.
It's a 90-minute game for me, and you walk winning.
Yeah, I'm no walk on penalties. But the one thing I will say, I think the five of us can be in agreement in, it's going to be tight, right?
Oh yeah.
And I think it's shaping up to be one of the best, in most recent times, one of the best Leinster final
This
matchups
could be better
we've
than
ever
the
had.
FAI Junior Cup final.
Could be.
better than
Damien
the-
said it's definitely one of the most evenly matched
so.
affairs.
And you know what's great?
Recent years.
We know the weather's going to be good. We know there's loads of car parking.
Yeah.
There's no excuse not to be at it.
Yeah.
You know, there's no sitting there. What am I going to do today?
But
Get down for a quality game of football.
It's two clubs that need to win it. One needs to win it as much as the other does.
I agree with that
you
point.
know,
But
and
I think
there's no
100%.
record in, like, you know, we've won 3 before.
Yeah, there's none of that.
Our club has it. Both of
Yeah.
them. And both of them are a serious path
Yeah.
that this will.
But no walk out 35 Leinster, don't forget that. Not that that makes any difference, but
It does. It does.
Well, it's
You know-
been massive. Like, it's not just heartbreak; it's massive heartbreak from where we're losing this
Yeah,
game.
well, this is the thing about
It's a big effect.
coming
like,
back after
the
that.
return
How do you
to
get back
pre-season
up
after
and do
getting
this
beaten,
again?
that is
Yeah.
tough,
us
right?
tough. Yeah,
Oh, it's
And
massive.
if you want to
Yeah.
be the biggest thing about sport, if you want to be successful at the top in any level of sport, you have to be prepared for massive heartache. You have to be prepared for massive heartache. If you're not able to take disappointment,
It's a
you'll never win at big.
heartache.
I know that song, but never heard that version. But
Yeah, come here and tell you, we have rapid fire questions.
Okay.
To be honest with you, the questions aren't that great. No, to be honest with you, I think it was 6th class in some school asked the questions. But yeah, how sadly be when Kilkenny How sad will you be when Kilkenny sad lose? That's one
Is he
question.
the same man that sent you the text the other
My
day?
God. We won't even ask that.
Oh, it's first one I ever got.
Would you chat a few minutes about the Carlow teams that played in Kilkenny down through the league? I think we've already done that, right?
Yeah, some great teams.
Yeah.
Great teams. Great battles. Tough. Hanover coming up. And I remember the warm-up, and they used to do this kind of shout when they be...
I don't remember playing in Kilkenny, but...
No, I played up in competitions. We played them a few
Oh,
years.
the pre-season competitions
Yeah,
and all
and
that,
they'd
yeah.
be, and I remember even looking at them going, Jesus Christ, what are they doing? It's like fucking...
Guerrilla
mountain
warfare
men.
when you come to
Yeah.
I'll never forget we knocked you out of the Leinster Junior Cup the year after you won it.
Yeah.
That's one of my greatest achievements in sport.
Yeah. We were still drunk.
We were a good side though.
You were a good side.
You
We're
were
a
quite
good
good, though,
side.
lads.
You were a good side.
Yeah.
You were very good. We bet you won
And
it.
I remember,
And you're both
do you
very
remember
handsome.
Aldo
Thanks, bud.
Marini?
Yeah.
Aldo, yeah.
Yeah, I
Aldo,
was
do
only a
you
young
remember
lad now.
Aldo, some player.
I'll never forget because
From a tie.
you think he was a superstar.
Yeah.
You know, I don't even know if he was a good soccer player.
Yeah.
He always
I
looked.
think his brother, I think there's a story about his brother Silvio.
Silvio
He got
Marino.
booked. And the referee asked him, what's your name? He said, Silvio Marini. You can be your real name now. And he goes, my name is Silvio Marini. And he goes, second yellow card for you if you don't give me your real name. He goes, my name is Silvio Marini. That's him having no more of you. And the second yellow card in the red, and he got off he went. For telling the truth. Yeah. What's my name is Silvio Marini. Yeah.
Yeah, Aldo was very good. He's of all the pats that he got for years as well. Up to recently, they got honoured at the 50th anniversary of the team that won the, I think it was quadruple, the one in Carlow.
Can you get a lot of ex-players coming back and helping?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not as many as you want.
Right, yeah.
Do you know, but you would get a lot of, like, all the committee and that'll be all ex, well, 90% of them will be all ex-players, I suppose.
Okay.
Or ex-officers or whatever, like.
Yeah,
It'd be the
yeah.
same in Hanover, right?
Yeah, there would be a lot involved, yeah. Taking their
And how's the developments in Hanover going? Are you putting in the Astro?
trained, yeah, still working on it, but
Still working on it.
it's hard. It's in the middle of housing estates and all that, so it's not as straightforward as you like. But
Yeah.
look,
How's the flood?
We're still waiting
Oh,
9,000 years
They're
for it.
building an ark.
Yeah, for planning permission for an hour.
Waiting for the 1,000-year flood. What? You can't even get a drop of rain. Sick.
What do you make of the time in the venue of the game? What time is the game? At half two?
Have to.
Yeah, that's okay.
I'm all right with it.
I'm alright
I'm
with
alright
time,
with
but
both,
not
I
right
would
the
just
venue.
prefer
Fine
that.
on, Pop.
No, I like it. It's location-wise it's good, but it should be a League of Ireland ground.
Yeah,
no
yeah,
respect
I
to
get
Buck
that, yeah.
It should be a League of
And
Ireland ground.
it's flat around the pitch, isn't it?
Yeah,
like,
there's
if,
no
if you're
rail
not there
yeah.
early,
No.
No.
you're limited what you're going to see.
No, I'd agree with that. Time is great. They definitely could have went to a better.
I would have
ground.
rather than on a Saturday evening.
Yeah,
I just
They'd rather
think it
on a
gives
different weekend.
people.
so would I.
Leave it the following weekend to the bank holiday.
Yeah.
Is the bank holiday again the weekend after?
Pretty sure, yeah.
You're joking me.
I think so.
Would have been great, wouldn't it?
Bank holidays are
It is,
ridiculous.
For a wedding.
It's not your wedding anyway, because I want to marry you. If there
I
won't
was
be...
going to say something. No.
Well,
No, go ahead.
no,
We might never talk again.
No, say it.
No, I won't say that. No.
If
It's unusual, isn't me to say that?
yeah, it must be bad. If there won't be Evergreen, will Kilkenny League accept that Carlow is ahead of them in football and standards? I think the acceptance is already there, is it?
I don't think he'll ever accept it.
I don't think you should
It
accept
doesn't.
No, you shouldn't, but I think
No,
it's a
It doesn't
reality,
define
isn't
what
it?
leagues.
No,
Every Kilkenny left their opinion and Carlow left
Yeah.
theirs. That's it.
Well, even talking about
I do think it'll benefit the Carlow League hugely because of the way it's going.
I would agree
Yeah.
with that.
Do you know what I mean? It's going so well, and now if this gets over the line, it's like Jesus, off we go.
Yeah, I do agree with
Whereas
that.
if Evergreen win it, everyone is
Business.
still busting nuts because they're miles behind.
Yeah.
So it would be a huge boost for
Yeah,
for
well, I
answer,
said
yeah.
it.
The
But,
Carlow
but,
League,
but
like-
again, it's not Evergreen's fault,
no,
lads.
no.
Do you know?
But steps are already underway. I'm glad to say.
What do you mean?
Don't have big shoes to make them steps.
We have new management coming in. I think I'm hoping.
Oh, you're talking about freeboarders?
yeah, and I'm hoping.
Is he ever talking about
I
it?
was just going to say
Will
for a
they,
change.
will they ever get back?
Yeah, yeah.
Is there a Freebooters burger in McDonald's or somewhere like that?
No.
Aye.
What's everything talks about Freebooters this, Freebooters that?
Well, you see, I don't know about you, but we had no choice. I keep saying this. We had no choice. It's like Everton and what's his name, Tony
We didn't have
Bellew
any
said.
choice.
Yeah.
No.
We
No,
were
no,
chosen.
there was
We didn't
no-
have
Yeah,
a
it's a
choice.
vocation,
We
right.
didn't have a fucking
That's only
choice.
because it was
Is
a
Shawnee
cost-
still there? No.
Yeah. He is and he
He'll
isn't.
always be there, won't
He'll
he?
always
Oh,
Is he involved in the boat or Shawnee still?
Yeah.
Oh, listen, stop.
Great time.
Even
for
when
that.
he's not involved,
You cut,
he's
you
involved.
cut his
Yeah.
legs, his blue comes out of that.
Would you go
Yeah.
back?
No.
you go back?
I would possibly help.
No, I don't think it'd be any benefit whatsoever.
As,
Me going
as
back.
a Celtic
No,
supporter, I don't
no,
think
no.
Shawnee would be happy
No,
with you
it's-
saying
it
if he
needs-
cut his legs
it's-
blue.
well,
That's
I
some-
don't
that's some-
Yeah, yeah.
I wouldn't mind helping.
Yeah, no, I don't think it'd be
up
any
to under
benefit.
12s and just
Nursery.
letting them play. You know, because we were watching a game there lately, and it was only last night. It was under 12s, and Jesus, the the restrictions on the players. Go here, go here.
Oh yeah.
You know, go there and coaches roaring and shouting. I'd like to go up to 12s and I'd love to see a young lad going, trying to pirouette and chipping it over lad's head. And
Yeah, I love that.
maybe he loses the ball, but he tries again the next time. There's so much I'm winning at that age.
I love that you think that you'd let teams do that.
I would let
You'd be
teams
telling
do
them
it.
going to the back astroturf there.
I would.
Like 3 go over and kick the ball off the back of each other's heads.
I actually have stopped going to juvenile games.
Yeah.
Was that a good one last night?
Yeah.
Hanover and York under 15 cup.
Was it good?
Good game, yeah. End to end.
Good.
You walk in.
York won and but Hanover won the league and York won the semi-final last night.
Good.
Basically the final. I think they were playing Ballymurphy. Both of them were fancy to
Can
beat
I ask you a
Ballymurphy.
question?
You can
Like
ask me
you're
any
in the
question.
plots, right? What is it about Hanover that makes them so hard to beat in there? I know it's a stupid question, but I was down there. I went to watch a couple of teams and said, should be able to handle them, and they're beating teams left, right, and centre. And no disrespect, a couple of teams I saw, I didn't see any magic in them. But then when you play them, it's like bloody hell. There's no end to them. Like,
Yeah, it's just
we
it's a hard
stole
place to
one
go.
from up
Like,
there
I
this
remember
year.
Sheriff coming there,
yeah,
barely got over the line. That North End team came,
yeah.
scored late. Even when the year we set up, we had 2 games against. I said it was a 2-game league against Ballymurphy. That great New York team that came took 2 penalties to beat us.
Yeah.
Now they had all the ball and all that. We were like could have scored a couple of goals in the break. It's just the venue. I don't know what it is. It's just
And is
just,
your catchment area, is it there or is it all
no,
over?
it's everywhere. It's everywhere.
is it?
Yeah.
Would you say there's a type of person plays for Hanover?
A lunatic.
What's
Yeah.
happening there?
Yeah. I don't know.
I genuinely think there's freebooters people. I really do.
Yeah,
Why?
no, it's-
Why would you think that?
I just
Why would
think
you
there's-
pigeonhole someone to
No,
be?
It's a from when we were there. It's a character, not a freeworks person.
I
It's
don't
a
mean.
character. It's the
char-
character of the person.
Yeah.
There's a
The
lads that-
club isn't that anymore, but he's so no
No.
matter what you want
No,
it to
but
be,
say
it's
what
not
I
it is.
think. You can't tell me what I think. Like,
Well, I can tell you you're wrong.
yeah, you can tell me I'm wrong, but you won't be right.
I would because you're telling me the club is the same as when you
I'm not
left
saying
it.
it's the same. I said there's a type of person that plays for.
No, but
would like to have freebooters.
I think you're blind to that.
Yeah.
I think that
Why?
it's the type of person because you're winning a lot of things. So
Yeah, maybe.
freebooters people are type of people are winners.
I think people got carried away with. We would have been very like E. I don't think we would never have been as. I don't think this Evergreen team is as good as previous Evergreen teams.
Right.
Okay.
There have been better Evergreen teams, and there were better Evergreen teams than us that couldn't
Didn't
beat
win.
us.
Yeah, didn't win.
Because of it. Just
Something he had.
yeah. So I do think, like with Hanover and with when you're talking about someone's character, there is a certain character that defines a club. Now that can be lost, and it's a bit lost in some.
It's
clubs.
lost with us.
Yeah, but you can always get that back. Like.
You
course you
see,
can,
here's where you are, right?
This
You'd
is
be
the Milwaukee
the
and Evergreen,
freebooters, so I am the
Leicester
St.
Junior.
Pat's, right? And I know for a fact that in my opinion, St. Pat's the best club in Carlow, right? But I'm also a realist,
I'm a
and I
realist
said
too.
that it's actually very hard to be consistently the best at something if things aren't been done wrong. And so St. Pat's only got relegated 4 years ago, and then they started doing things right again.
Yeah, but could you see things being done wrong at that time?
Yeah, but
Yeah, and
wasn't
I could
involved.
see the freebooters, but they don't want to fucking listen to you when you're telling them they're doing it wrong.
Yeah, but it's not none of your business because I'm not involved.
Yeah, but
No.
no, it is your business
no,
because
it's
you're a
not.
St. Pat's man.
No,
Yes,
no,
it
I wasn't
is.
involved.
No, it doesn't matter about being involved. Do you have the best of the club at heart?
So if you're,
Do you have the best of the club at heart?
Oh yeah, I love the
Yeah,
club.
and you put in a lot of work there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, then you're entitled to your fucking opinion.
No,
and
no,
if they don't like
no.
it, they can kiss your hole. But you have to tell them the fucking truth. You have to tell
No,
them the
it's
truth.
none of your business because I'm not involved.
No, bullshit.
No, he's dead
Bullshit.
right. I'd agree
no,
with
you
him.
shut up.
I'd agree with him
Bullshit.
100%.
No.
Yeah, you'd have to put yourself in there every
I would
week.
rant and rave and give out and whinge and moan about the place.
No, if you've put in years
But-
of effort and work and done things and you know it's done right, and lads are doing it fucking wrong, you have every right to go up and tell him, dude, this is our club, fucking do it
So
that way.
if you see a guard giving a ticket for a wrong reason, you're next guard, you can walk over and tell him that he's wrong.
And not true. No,
No,
different.
you just can't. Like.
You can. No, you fucking can.
No, I think you can have a passionate perspective about it, but
Or meant
the difference I would have from you is when you're gone over it, you're gone over it.
Yeah,
Like
that's what. Yeah.
I hope Booters win the league. I hope to win the Leicester Junior Cup next year, but they're not going to. And you just have to say it. But I can say that team is not good enough, or I don't think that should be done. But you can't go knocking lads.
But if you know something is wrong, would you not tell them you can
stop.
change it?
Just relax
That's
for a
like
second.
going into the shop and telling them they're selling the wrong fucking sweets.
You
Like,
can't
there's nothing to do with it.
Would you still follow the results and all that of free
Yeah.
books clause? You see, I separate myself completely.
No,
Yeah.
See,
'Cause it just was like
we had, it was 20 yards across the road. There was not Nelson only football. My sister's fucking played football.
Yeah,
no,
but
he's you shut up. You're 10 years younger, right?
Listen, you're getting carried away.
Stop for a minute. Let me
you're
talk.
not. You know.
Stop for a minute.
I'm going to head
Listen,
off.
stop for a second. Stop for a second.
Right, go ahead then, stop.
When you're gone out of the club, you're gone out of the club, right?
No, I don't agree with that.
Listen, you just stop for a second.
Break.
Poppa, if he's gone out of Hanover for the next 5 years, he can come back and say to Podge, if Podge is involved, Podge, listen, that needs to be changed or that. But he's not going to go in and do it. Like he's gone over it. If you're not in the middle of it,
Correct.
you
He's
can have
allowed-
your opinion,
he's
but you
allowed to
have
tell him.
He is, but you can't demand it. You have to let people make their
Demand
mistakes.
him, but you have to
No,
tell
no, there's
You
no.
have to
I
let it
wouldn't
be.
dispute that. You can tell him,
And
but
this
they
is
don't.
the Evergreen, the
They
Walk
don't have
Leinster
to do
Junior
it.
preview.
Yeah, yeah.
and just
How are we
throw
talking
it
about
back
free
in there.
wars?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
We're talking about
And they
clubs.
absolutely nothing to do with the Leinster Junior
I
Cup.
was
And they
asking
won't be
Papa
for a
about
long time.
Hanover,
Yeah, and then you start shouting about free wars.
and you haven't added to the conversation at all.
Can we get back to the questions?
Because he was refereeing.
Yeah, fuck me.
Here's I actually like this question. I know it's a bit off topic as well. Best amateur side of all time. The best junior side of all time.
Sheriff.
Jesus, that
How about
Fairview
the St.
Rangers
Michael's team?
team.
They're better than the St. Michael's.
Sheriff for me.
Fairview
Sheriff.
Rangers, Graham.
Fairview were excellent, but I would the football that Sheriff team played,
Yeah, I'd agree. Sheriff
and
are the
then
best.
even though they were done
Big
for
thing.
it, the time they went and bet shells in the
Crazy, isn't it?
like when O'Malley scored that goal from
Why did they get
35.
Big yards,
Someone
yeah.
wasn't registered or some
Yeah.
rubbish came out about it or something. But
After winning the game
but
like
they
that.
went and done shells, and they didn't just go and sit in and we beat them. They went and done them.
They were 2 down. Came back going 3-2, wasn't it?
Yeah, and William Malloy, I'll never forget the goal he scored. But they went and did them. They didn't like even too long. They didn't like go. We're going to hold on it. They went and played. That Sheriff team where you had the Kavanagh's. Was it Kavanagh's? Anto and
No, not Kavanagh.
Murphy's.
Yeah.
The
Murphy's,
goalkeeper.
yeah.
You had the centre half.
Yeah.
Like
The wing back.
your man John Rock, Leicester.
Whacker?
Yeah.
Like
Leicester, yeah.
they were.
Walker, yeah.
I think that's the best junior team.
Yeah, that's a good show.
Big disappointment was we never got a shot to play him.
We
Not
got a
that
shot
you'd have
at them too
done
late
it.
and they gave us a lesson.
No, but
Not
you would
that
love
you've
to
done
play
it.
him, wouldn't
Love
you?
just to see
Yeah.
where you'd
We went up to one
be
day
like.
and we were nowhere near as good as we were. I was only helping out with some lads and they gave us a lesson. I texted the cheekiest thing I ever heard was Whacker was over there and we were on the sideline. There was 2 Freeburgers lads and Whacker comes over and another comes over. She said, all right, he said, I'll mark these 2. I thought you cheeky.
No, I think
they were brilliant.
they were exceptional.
Yeah.
I see
Yeah,
you
Mo.
running quite close up there one time. Remember, I went up to watch
In
you.
the flats, yeah. I was playing
No,
that.
in.
Oh,
and
Sheriff.
we were over them. I know they ended up in 3 or 4-0, but the first 20 minutes you were all over. Remember the keeper made a save with Graham Header?
Yeah.
He was if it's the Murphy goal, like he was a brilliant goalkeeper
Oh my
as well.
God. He'd no right to save it.
An
No right to
unbelievable
save.
penalty record.
Graham had gone off. He was gone off. Graham Lane. He was gone off
Yeah.
celebrating it.
And he
How
said-
in the name of
Unreal.
Jesus?
Yeah, super side.
Damo, what's your favourite junior team?
I was first to say Sheriff, bud.
Yeah,
Yeah, no.
that Fairview
That,
team
Mike,
wouldn't
that,
have been.
that Michael side, that bet were
Michael
good
side
with
was
Chalky
chalky
Walls.
and all, yeah.
Yeah, did they
Chalky.
consistently win the big trophies?
Green.
The club would have been there but
Michaels
most.
were always there. They've done won a good few monsters and
Yeah.
they've won
Still
a,
at though.
and they're
They're
still
quarter
at
finals,
yeah,
semi-final all the time,
always-
isn't
Didn't Fairview win
always-
4 FAIs in a row or something?
I thought they went
Or was it
more.
7 or?
7 and
Fairview was a
Fairview?
serious
Oh,
team,
Jesus.
yeah.
7
Unbelievable
in a
outfit.
certain 9 years. Or
I think
something.
Sheriff
But the
right
football
I'd say
Sheriff
Sheriff
played
won it,
was
yeah.
Yeah.
even the kit with the star,
Yeah.
the badge, like
Yeah.
for junior soccer, they were just like there was just something about
Sheriff's
them, wasn't there?
badge.
Yeah, unbelievable. Sheriff's badge. Never thought.
Does that make sense, bud?
This is what I'm dealing with.
There wasn't a rocking horse ran on the
I
other. You know what I
just
mean?
presumed it was Sheriff Street, like you know. Like,
Sheriff's
I
badge.
know, but I never
I think
thought.
they are.
I know that, but I never thought of it as a Sheriff's
It's
badge.
Sheriff
Brilliant.
YC.
Yeah,
It's
Sheriff Youth Club, yeah.
It's a Sheriff badge.
Anto Haney came down from
Fairview
Dublin.
were better, yeah.
Chap came down and played with us from Sheriff.
Anto. Good
And
player,
he
wasn't
won
he?
the Leinster Junior, yeah.
He was over them then. He took him. Did
Yeah.
he take?
He was there this year.
He was there
Was
this year.
he?
Yeah, he
Yeah.
filled
At the
in.
end.
Took
Filled in
over,
to the
yeah.
end of the season.
Well, how did it?
They kept it steady.
They gave a walk over.
Gave a walk over the other night. It was a disgrace.
Last question. Carlow and Kilkenny leagues, which is better? We've only asked it 15 times. I know for a fact that Carlow
It's
league is
Kilkenny,
better.
yeah.
Not even you'd say that.
Papa the van. How long have we gone, lads? About 9.5 hours,
Yeah.
it feels like.
I'd just like to actively apologise to Damien Raggett again tonight.
Why?
Because just he's going to kill me when I go out to the car for some reason.
It's not easy, boys. It's just not easy, like. You fucking.
I'm easy.
He says I don't speak, but he would
great
get a
to have
fucking
him.
chance.
It's great to have
Do
him.
you know what's unfortunate? The 2 you're not going to be there Sunday. That's
No,
Oh, no,
killer,
we'll
isn't
get it. I'll watch it. We'll get it on the
Oh,
VAR.
the
or
Panorama
something.
is terrible, boys.
Yeah,
Yeah,
killer.
the hard
isn't it?
thing.
See the
Oh,
stress on your
my God.
face, man. Do you love golf that much? You do?
I sure just go. I love going.
He's deadly at it.
Spain.
Is he?
Spain is brilliant. Yeah.
I hate golf.
He came third in the Pats Classic there the weekend. James, producer.
Yeah.
James carried him. I
played him. I was up in caddying.
Yeah.
James had to get
Hey,
physio
look,
the next day.
big
Yeah,
one,
he was in bits.
the big one after the Leinster Junior is the foot golf.
Oh yeah,
That's
we're the fuck off then. Yeah,
We should have been entered in that.
Next, yeah.
I could be the manager.
It's too late. Yeah, come on.
The two boys could play.
I don't even have a hip anymore. Never mind.
Actually, you don't need it.
Ragged, you take everything. We'll do the putt.
You
Ragged, you could have a career at. You could have a career
I've had
at.
enough fucking careers of jokes now. I'm alright where I am.
Oh Lord.
Well, look, what I will say is, I think it's fantastic for soccer in both counties, and it's badly needed in Kilkenny, and it's badly needed in Carlow to get a different name on that trophy, and it's only going to be good. And I really hope the walk do it. As much as that absolutely kills me to say it, I genuinely hope to win the cup. To Leinster.
It's going to be a brilliant game. I think there's
Definitely.
two sets of players on show that it's just awesome as a group. Benches will be important. I don't see many goals in it, being honest, but I hope you walk get the job done. I
just
think
see
they will, but
the trophy going back down the Kilkenny Road. That's all I can say. Lad. I can't see anything else. I just see it heading back into Kilkenny.
I think it
All I
stops
can
in the
see.
paw pitch, to be honest with you.
Into the Kells Road.
I just make sure no one just don't have any regrets. Any of them.
that's the
Just
main thing, isn't it? Yeah, empty the tank.
Don't think of anything else. Just
If your
give it
shift is
everything.
done,
Yeah.
make sure
Yeah.
it's a proper shift you're after doing.
Don't.
I'd
leave
say if
anything
anyone
there.
is listening to it and thinking, will I, won't I go?
Oh,
Definitely
100%.
If
That's the last thing
you're
I wanna say,
available to
lads.
go.
Go down
Yeah.
to the game. I'm gutted I can't make it.
And live, it'll be brilliant. It'll be brilliant.
We're away, but
Yeah.
it will be recorded, and hopefully I'll get some kind of fucking coverage of it. But
And I'm sure Christie's will be rocking Sunday night.
Exactly. Yeah.
full of tears, I'd say. I want to wish Gavin all the
Cup will
best.
be full of them.
Yeah, look, I work with
and the rest of them.
Eddie.
Eddie
I'm a
as
cousin
well,
of
yeah.
Gavin.
What's your cousin? Is he?
Yeah,
Everyone that comes is a cousin.
No, two grandfathers, brothers.
Nice.
So, Amos fucking Wilkes over here beside me. Fuck's sake. But yeah, it's they're friends of mine as well as enemies as you're coaching against them. But I genuinely hope to get the job done. And Mikey, I met him on the podcast, a good lad.
Good lad.
But,
Nice lad.
I hope you get the job done.
Been a
and
long journey
it'll
for
be
him
an
too.
epic game, be a brilliant game.
Yeah.
I hope it is. I hope two teams go out and the referee has a good performance on the day as well.
Exactly, yeah.
Because that's as important as both teams.
Well, Graham
The
probably
referee can
knows
have a good game.
both benches more than anybody. Gavin and Craig and Gary and
Yeah.
you know.
All I'd say is just don't. As I said, just don't. I do think Evergreen will win it. Just don't.
Tell
have
me
any,
this, Graham. Do you miss them big days as a player?
Yeah, only the day. Just the day, the game.
Nuts.
Not and before it or the training but the game is.
Demo.
Yeah, I still get a buzz out of Division 2 Cup finals, you know. No matter what I've done, playing anything, even the six-a-side stuff with Ireland, biggest thrill I got was winning a shield last year with my son. You know, that's
Brilliant, isn't it?
yeah,
Amazing,
you know.
yeah.
Do you miss them?
7 minutes ago, yeah.
Because you see the way the conversation we just had there when I kind of get a bit.
That wasn't a conversation.
There was an
that
awful
was me
lot
with
of that.
Frederick's things
I had
trying
to
to
do
put
an
you
awful
out.
lot of that.
That was assault.
Back then.
Verbal assault.
No, seriously, I had to do an awful lot of that. First, I had to prove myself in the club that should be around the A team. That was a big thing for me. I had to prove it. A lot of players.
Do you always get resistance?
I would. I'm a fractious character, though. I am.
He pushes.
You
I
know,
have to say,
I do.
I like you, I have to say.
If there's, I'll be
Probably
honest
not
with
so
you.
much.
If I think,
I think he's related
I
to
think
Damien
if a lad puts down
he's a
10
psychopath.
jerseys and doesn't put you down the 11th one, I'd be going, why didn't you do that? And that's just me.
Yeah, but I think when you said that's just me, is that when your man gives you the answer why he didn't know the 11 one is where you disagree even more.
Yeah, I don't. Two things I never believed in, and one was it's not our day. You know, this thing, I wasn't our day.
I hate that.
I don't believe in that
I
shit.
hate? That's football.
That's football. Bullshit.
That annoys me so
That's
much.
it. I wasn't our day today.
Oh, that winds me up. That's
Podge,
football.
that is football.
That's not
No,
fucking
but-
football.
It's the biggest heap
Oh,
of
it does wind you
crap
up,
I
I see.
ever heard is, I just wasn't our day today. Rubbish. Absolutely rubbish.
I'd subscribe
Yeah,
to that
well,
now.
Leinster finals don't come that often.
No,
So
no.
make sure
Yeah.
it is your day, whichever one wins.
Exactly, yeah.
110%.
Just the stress of getting to them things.
And the Kilkenny lad is going to win it regardless, whichever way it goes.
Yeah. Yeah,
It'll be all right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So I have two
Dotsy,
nephews
Dotsy,
and a son on
yeah.
the other side.
You've three.
Dotsy
I
from Paulstown.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
Dotsy
was-
from Paulstown.
Even I was there going,
Yeah.
how did we not hear this?
I got the text then again.
Yeah, well, I didn't know. I just knew he lived in Paulstown. I
Sure,
thought,
you
how-
told us last week a young lad from Fort Rangers from
Well, he was there. He lived
from
in Burnley.
Clonmel,
Yeah.
and he lives in Kilkenny.
Yeah. You came through Carlow.
I'm telling you, whoever is giving you your information and making your bookings,
Is
which I was
lying.
sorting out on the phone
No,
here.
that's wrong on the other side, not this side.
Oh, I'll get again.
Not my
Is it
side,
like the
no,
spelling?
yeah, yeah, nothing to do with any of
Is
this.
it like the spelling?
I just want to also add, we did invite Johnny down with you as well. He's away.
Yeah, he's
Johnny's
away in
away,
Dublin
yeah.
a couple of nights, yeah.
We're glad he's not here.
Hey, Johnny.
Then he has
Jeez,
6 of
he's
us in here. Would have been.
Johnny, I got a free top as well. Damn what it.
Yeah. Johnny, I had one for
Sardines
you,
in
but
the
you
tin.
weren't
Yeah, but
here.
hang on. Ye fucking got your free tops off the How Easy podcast.
Yeah,
I fucking
you did.
supported him and bought
You
a
did.
top off him.
Well, Damien, the
You
next
wouldn't
one
even
we-
listen to him until I told you to, so don't be giving me that
Thanks,
shit.
Damo.
Well, that is
Shout
true.
out Damo,
Damo, the
thanks.
next one, the next round
Shove
of
up your
jersey will
hole.
get.
I tell you what, you're going to come down here now on Monday and we'll let you hold the cup.
Why, how will you have it?
In the studio.
I'll give Lee Walker a shout there as he's around.
Anyway, lads,
Anyway,
thanks so
lads,
much for
as
coming
always,
on.
brilliant.
Brilliant,
Thanks for
boys.
having us.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks for having us, lads.
I
Honestly.
want to say that Bagnallstown are doing, what's that called? Hell and Back.
Tell him back.
On the weekend, there's 23 of them going there and going down 5 o'clock Saturday morning. They're starting at. Best of luck to them. And if anyone wants to donate, just check out the socials.
Mort
Once
Marriage, your
again,
man there, lads.
Best of luck, yeah. Contact Mort. Best of luck to both clubs the weekend. Once again, I hope no walk do it. Have to get the final word. That
Is there
much
any
I'm
other
thinking
games
about
on
it.
in Carlow's? Everything off?
Everything's off, I think.
No,
Oh, no, we're playing East in the morning. Sure, in the
Pats and
Carlow
Hanover,
Cup
the
semi-final.
of the Carlow Cup.
Early.
11
11
o'clock.
o'clock.
Yeah. First, the
And
big,
you walk in is playing the other semi-final on the Wednesday against Felix.
big
Yeah, the
first-
walk
big
have
first
Wednesday,
division
Sunday,
games on.
Wednesday.
Sunday, Wednesday, Sunday.
Felix will be home
Sunday,
for the
Wednesday,
walk win,
Sunday.
wouldn't
Felix will be hoping when you walk
Felix
in.
are on a crest of a wave, lad.
They're
To
good,
get,
yeah,
to
they're
get
good
past
side.
some trimming in the first division cup final Saturday night.
See that there, 4-1, is it?
5.
Five.
Five. They're a
Yeah.
good. They're a good
We'll
side.
fight till half time.
Can you see him? Can you see him challenging the next few years?
Queer
few
big
years,
step.
yeah.
Queer big step to go in and challenge.
Early yet, is it?
They definitely have the players. I don't know if they can adapt to the Premier. It's a different game.
It is a
Premier.
big. It is a big jump.
Yeah.
And lads don't realise.
Well, if they don't realise it's not a jump, they're in trouble, eh?
Yeah.
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 I think that's what happened.
But I
to
think they will, and I think Pete is level. He's grounded, like he's
Yeah.
a level-headed, and he'll get them fitter down the world.
like
this
the
year.
things that work in the lower
And
division.
I
Don't
think
work.
playing in the Premier will suit them a little bit better because they're a good football inside,
Yeah.
and you get to play a little bit more in the Premier than doing the first division.
Yeah, but you make that mistake, you're punished nearly.
Oh, you do,
9
yeah,
and a half
yeah.
times out of
Is
10.
Pete still playing over 35s?
Yes.
Yeah.
Played against him there about
Good
2
player.
or 3 years ago.
Yeah.
with Felix,
The over
so-
35, very competitive, isn't
Ah,
it?
it's
3
brilliant.
divisions in Carlow.
Brilliant.
Over
Absolutely
35s?
brilliant. One of the best things. One of the best
There was
things I've ever
7
got
in.
involved in.
I remember you
there was
talking
7 in
about that.
in the first in the Premier, but I think Bridge pulled out of it.
Yeah, they did. They couldn't get lads to commit.
Could not get lads
And
in.
like,
Oh,
is
no.
it's competitive, like?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it is,
Oh, it is,
I'll tell you a
Jeez, it
story.
is.
That's why I got back involved at Pats.
Right.
To start the 35s, and I went in, it was Pop signed, and I went in, it was training and arrangement, whatever you want to call it. And we played Ballinglass in the very first game. We went out Ballinglass setting a low block with midfield and the diamond
Remember
midfield.
that, yeah.
They scored 5 minutes and they sat in, couldn't break them down, they were unbelievable.
Tell you
Just
what,
sat in, flooded the midfield, full-backs really narrow, and played with a screen. Like nearly 2 screens with Iser. What's going on here?
no Egypt's played 35.
Scored the last minute
No,
and threw
it
on
is.
all.
It's
Oh,
all
man. Because it's lads that
They've all
played.
played.
Yeah.
They've all
Yeah.
played the game.
And what's
There's all
the,
shapes
They
and
had a-
sizes,
they
but
had a-
everyone can play.
They all can
That
play.
again
Yeah.
on the Platts 2 or 3 weeks ago. The B team were heading for the cup quarter final,
Aye.
so they played at 35. It was only back first week back training or second week back training against the B team. Couldn't touch them.
Really?
Yeah, no, it's
it's
just
a different-
keeping the ball. It's just simple.
So
things.
the,
The Hanover team's a lovely team as well.
and,
you know,
the level of it, it's not. It's more about football out and running.
It's roll on, roll
sure,
off.
it's-
Oh, it
Roll on,
is.
roll
the
off.
ball
Yeah.
doesn't get tired, does it?
No, true.
The only thing that lets it down is you'd want to sign about 40 players.
You would,
You
yeah.
were saying this, yeah, you were
yeah.
saying this.
That's the only thing that lets it
You
down
have
because you
to.
never have the same 11 lads. Oh no, man, and look,
Yeah, but
lads are
you-
married.
Crittiyard
and
probably got
things.
caught, I'd say, at the weekend. Like, they didn't. Like, Hanover deserved to beat Crittiyard at the weekend. It was a penalty they decided and Kite buried it. But in regards to the game, it was all Hanover.
Right,
They
okay.
were a better team. They had chances as well, but you only had 14 players and one of them wasn't there.
Right.
A warm evening where Hanover's running lads
Just
in and out, in and out, in and out. It's a big difference at that.
And but is it pure enjoyment?
Oh, it's brilliant.
Yeah, it's deadly.
Brilliant.
It's serious.
But it's
It is very
competitive
serious,
on the
yeah,
field,
yeah.
like.
Yeah.
Like we played G. Did you play against us in Pats in the Carlow Cup semi-final? I bet you 3-2. Barco played.
Yeah.
That was some game of soccer.
No, I didn't play that night.
No, you
I
weren't
didn't
there.
play
It was
that
a
night.
Saturday,
No,
was
I
it
was
not?
watching. I was watching that actually.
That
yeah.
was some game of soccer.
Played in the one in
Was it Cracker?
Bridge. We bet you by 8-0 there, Ari.
I wasn't involved that time.
He never lost the game in his life, you know? He never lost the game in his life.
That was the one Jono just reached out, caught one by his hand and just pulled it back, and the ref never gave it his penalty. And there was a picture.
Jono.
Oh, was
there was a
it?
picture of just the hand going out, catching the ball, pulling it back, and everything. It's brilliant.
Yeah, my friend was in goal for Pats. One was in goal for Pats. I think that night. He wasn't very happy after. But
And is it all over the country or?
Leinster's big in
Yeah,
Leinster.
massive.
I reckon it's going to be
See,
a 45.
the thing about you playing Carlow, or Kilkenny, is 35 minutes.
Yeah.
Dublin play 40. And that 10 minutes is some difference at the end of it.
Yeah.
It's not in Kilkenny at all, is it?
No.
Oh, jeez,
No,
we can
Kilkenny
barely have a
teams go
Premier
out.
division.
Evergreen.
We have a 35th division.
Evergreen, Highview, Bridge have all had teams. Highview are the only
Yeah.
team to have a team
Would
this year.
you recommend it, like, for
100%, yeah.
for Kilkenny, like?
Oh, definitely, yeah.
There should be a team of
Definitely.
Kilkenny in it, yeah.
But you're,
But Buncrody is in the Premier Division.
if you
First
look
time in-
around,
Carnew.
Carnew's in the second division now. They were Premier for the last 2
Yeah.
years. Won it 2 years ago.
Wow.
all the divisions in Kilkenny, you look around any of them, like any teams that are usually doing well in most of the divisions have older lads on them that are old enough to play 35s. Like.
And do you have a night out down here now?
No.
Oh,
I think
But you
it's
get a choice. If it's
a
either,
kibosh.
it's either 7 o'clock on a Saturday, 7 o'clock on a Friday, or 5 o'clock on a Saturday.
Yeah.
For the over 35?
That's,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
the choice you're getting. So
That's
it's up
grass.
to the home
Summer.
team.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's great.
That's great, yeah.
Yeah.
No, you can get away with wearing runners, being honest.
Yeah.
Like
Right.
the Astro runners, the pitch is a bit hard.
Pitch it hard.
Wow.
Just to show out the Pop Lottery, I think he had a bit of a leg break at the weekend. Not a bit
You're
of a one,
joking.
it's a leg break, yeah. It's
Pop-
bad old
with
tackle and
Felix?
everything. Yeah, with Felix, yeah.
Go away.
Yeah, so
Jesus, Poppy, poor devil.
speedy recovery, yeah.
I like Pop. Nice lad. A great soccer player as well. Jesus, Pop. Oh, he's a physio now, right? Where he's doing
Yeah,
masseuse physio now.
yeah.
Thanks, Papa, friend, on that note.
That was
Right.
fun, ended.
Yeah.
Thanks for that, yeah.
Oh, you never ended the show.
As
yet.
always, lads, it's not my podcast.
It's not my, no, Mendon. No, it's my podcast. No, it's not my podcast. It's not our podcast.
It's,
Go ahead.
it's not your podcast.
It's
Don't even know.
Evergreen's
Listen,
podcast.
It is.
It's Carlow Soccer's podcast.
Best
It's
of
your
luck to both
podcast.
teams.
Good
Cheers,
luck.
Cheers,
Thanks, mate.
Thank you,
Thanks,
mate. Super. Yeah.
No problem at
That's
all.
full time on this week's episode
what
of the
did we
House
go?
of Podcast.
What did we go?
Available on all podcasting platforms. Find us on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter/X. Proudly sponsored by Ampifi. Got a story to tell? A voice that needs to be heard? Get in touch with us here in Ampifi, Carlow Town's professional home for podcasters of all kinds. We can be found on Instagram at Ampifi Podcast Studio. Ampifi, power up your podcast.